It's Wednesday, January 14th. Today, how many children are recovering and the extent of their injuries after a school bus rolled over in western Manitoba? What a disgraced former police officer told court during his sentencing on drug trafficking charges. Breaking this morning, a fire on Main Street forces the evacuation of a nearby shelter. What happened and what it'll mean for your drive into work this morning. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. It is Wednesday. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. We have a lot to cover in the next 3 hours, including some breaking news on Main Street. There is a fire at the Manwin Hotel. At this point, it looks like it is a total loss. So we're going to have the latest on that and what it'll mean for your drive into work as well. And of course, it's the worst day for this to happen. It is so cold out there right now for the people who are being evacuated from Main Street Project, as well as those people fighting this fire right now. It's not pleasant at all out there.
No, I mean, the conditions really couldn't have taken a turn for the worse. And I'm not just talking about the dip in temperatures. We're actually back to seasonal. It's just the timing of this situation that makes it so treacherous for those that are out there. Anyway, let's take a look outside and see how the day is shaping up. As I mentioned, we really did plummet overnight, but only back to what you would expect for this time of year. That being said, it's mid-January, and it is one of the coldest times of year. So we're looking at minus 23 as far as our actual temperature to kick off this morning. We've got winds out of the northwest that thankfully are on the lighter side right now, just 13 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity is sitting at 82%. We did see, yes, those temperatures fall throughout the afternoon yesterday, but then they continued to drop off overnight. The sky, though, also cleared out, and you can see here on the satellite image how clear things are looking through the eastern side of the province. Western Manitoba still will have a few extra clouds throughout the day today. But these temperatures, yes, they slid through the afternoon overnight, and now it's back to normal for this time of year, but maybe only for a day, because this roller coaster ride that we're on as far as the weather goes, that's still going to continue for another couple of days. Clear conditions, though, that means we'll see plenty of sunshine today. Temperatures getting up to about minus 14. I mentioned that being normal, so from the minus 20s this morning, seasonal, to what you would expect for an afternoon. We'll enjoy that sunshine today, then things are going to change with the clouds moving in later today. There is that first round of precipitation that'll move through into the evening overnight. That will continue off, and just some clouds for tomorrow morning, but throughout the day tomorrow, another round of precipitation. And this time round tomorrow, I mentioned the roller coaster that we're not off of yet. Those temperatures throughout the day tomorrow will be soaring again, pushing us back up above the freezing mark, and you can expect things to get pretty slick and slushy once again. So minus 14 normal for this time of year, and then up to plus 3. After that, we're going to be back to seasonal only for a day before those temperatures continue to slide, and we're looking at a cold weekend ahead.
Thank you, Terry. Breaking news this morning, crews are battling a major fire in the 600 block of Main Street, causing traffic disruptions in the area. Our CTV News camera captured these images of crews attacking the blaze at the Manwin Hotel at 655 Main Street. According to the City of Winnipeg Emergency Response Log webpage, the fire was first reported at around 3:45 this morning. Reports from the scene say the blaze forced the evacuation of the adjacent premises of the Main Street project. Those staying at MSP have been relocated in buses to Silo Mission temporarily. Winnipeg police say Main Street, in both directions, is closed between Disraeli and Higgins. Logan Avenue is also closed. Street closures, especially for the northbound lanes, are expected to stay in place well past the morning commute. We will have more on this story later in the show. The investigation continues into what happened on a western Manitoba highway Tuesday morning when a school bus carrying 14 students rolled over. Some of them suffered significant injuries in the crash north of Swan River. 4 people were airlifted to Health Sciences Centre here in Winnipeg. They were all in stable condition but required further care. In total, 14 students aged 16 to 18 and the bus driver were hospitalized following the crash.
I've been with the family members, and it's a state of shock. Right, because you think your child's going to school only to find out, he's been involved in an accident. So it sort of hits your heart in a bad way, in a sour way. Like, is my child safe? How bad hurt is my child?
The school bus was traveling from Sapotaway, Cree Nation, to 2 schools in Swan River when it slid off Highway 10. Mounties believe the bus driver was attempting to pass another bus and lost control. The bus went off the highway, rolled, and came to a stop right side up. RCMP say road conditions were believed to be slippery at the time of the incident. All 15 occupants were taken to Swan Valley Health Center for assessment and treatment. 7 are still being assessed with, they might go, right? It all depends on the extent of their injuries. Like I said, some are spinal and some broken bones. And some are head injuries. So we don't know with head injuries on what the effects are going to be after. Shared Health initiated a code orange alert at Health Sciences Centre in case there was an influx of patients. However, the alert was later lifted. Premier Wab Kinew is calling on Ontario Premier Doug Ford to keep selling Crown Royal. Ford is pulling the popular Canadian whiskey from store shelves in his province after maker Diageo announced a bottling operation would move to the U.S. And as CTV's Jeff Keel shows you, Kinew is concerned about the impact that could have on jobs at the Gimli plant where Crown Royal is made.
Wab Kinew took a tour of the Diageo plant in Gimli where Crown Royal is made to show support for workers while sending a message to his Ontario counterpart.
I'm here in Gimli because I'm standing up for people's jobs. I am concerned for people's jobs here.
Kinew is calling on Ontario Premier Doug Ford to keep the popular whiskey on LCBO shelves.
You are going to hurt Canadian jobs. You're going to hurt Manitoba jobs if you follow through with this action. And so I've asked him to reconsider.
Last week, Ford said he was moving ahead with his plan to remove Crown Royal from the government-run stores in Ontario after Diageo decided to relocate a bottling plant from Ontario to the U.S. And even after a phone discussion with Kinew on Tuesday, it appears Ford is not budging.
As sure as I'm talking to you, that Crown Royal is coming off the shelves.
Well, I think that's ridiculous on his part. I mean, what is he trying to prove with it?
Ontario is one of the largest buyers of alcohol on the planet, so it has people in Gimli worried about what this could mean for the local facility.
The plant means a lot to this town, a lot of jobs.
Ford is of the belief Diageo will move all operations south of the border. Kinew says the company has told the province they are staying put in Gimli.
We called Diageo and said, are you still committed to Gimli? And they said, yes, we'll give you the verbal reassurance that we're committed to our Gimli employees.
And to prove that commitment, the province says Diageo is paying for a $19 million transmission line so it can switch from natural gas boilers to an electric system at the plant. Jeff Keel, CTV News, Gimli.
Prime Minister Mark Carney will arrive in China this morning for a short but high-stakes visit. The Prime Minister is expected to meet with senior government leaders tomorrow before face-to-face with President Xi Jinping on Friday. To strike any kind of deal, Prime Minister Carney will have to work through years of tension built up with China. He also has to keep in mind the needs of all provinces and territories. For example, dropping an EV tariff will make canola farmers happy in Saskatchewan, but it will upset auto workers in Ontario. Before leaving for China, the Prime Minister met with coastal First Nations leaders in BC.
It's a day, as I say, for dialogue, for listening and working. There will be a time for coming back with progress, particularly with respect to conservation.
Coastal First Nations leaders are still adamantly opposed to a new pipeline and easing the tanker ban. If Ottawa does move ahead with the pipeline project, First Nations say they will use every tool they have to stop it. Instead of a pipeline, they want to promote other economic projects like LNG and ecotourism. Police near Toronto are investigating a case of apparent arson involving tow trucks, which took place just minutes away from another instance of suspected arson last week. Security video shows a suspect holding what appears to be a gas canister while walking around vehicles in a lot in Brampton, Ontario. Moments later, the vehicles, including 2 tow trucks, ignite. This incident follows a similar event on January 5th that happened nearby. Several tow trucks were torched. Peel Regional Police say it was arson and are looking for multiple suspects. The city is looking for someone to install new guardrails at the Millennium Library. The city has issued an RFP for someone to remove and replace the guardrails on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th floors overlooking the Reading Terrace. They'll also be replacing the temporary fencing, which was put in place in the fall following a pair of incidents, including one where a man died. A city spokesperson says the new guardrails will be made of tempered glass and aluminum and stand between 7 and 8 feet tall. The RFP closes February the 6th. We've all heard the line, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if it is broken, you can try bringing it to the Spence Repair Cafe.
A Repair Cafe is a clinic where you can bring household items that are broken and in need of repair. So maybe basic appliances or even clothing or bicycles.
The cafe is a new initiative for the Spence Neighborhood Association, and it's happening every second Wednesday at its headquarters on Ellis Avenue. The association has a tool library and some volunteers on site to help people fix everyday objects for free. The cafe's coordinator says that it's all about giving appliances and other items a second life.
There's a whole bunch of reasons why a person might choose to repair something rather than replace it. It saves money, it saves resources, it keeps things useful and rather than in the landfill. So we think there's a lot of different reasons why someone would come out to this event.
The Spence Neighborhood Association is also looking for handy people to help fix things and teach people how to do it. The first cafe runs tonight from 6:30 to 8 at 615 Ellis Avenue. Here's the look at what's happening right now at Confusion Corner. Things are moving well in this part of the city. But again, as I mentioned earlier, Main Street is closed northbound and southbound. So is Logan due to a fire at the Manwin Hotel. Let's go now to Terry out on the rooftop. It's a cold start to the day today.
Yeah, it certainly is. Or a return to what is normal. It's just that we got really spoiled with those plus digits that we were waking up to yesterday morning. So seasonal does suddenly feel pretty darn chilly out here. Make sure that you're bundled up properly. One thing we have in our favor this morning is that lack of winds. They are on the lighter side right now out of the northwest, just 10 kilometers per hour, but still they do add an additional bite. It's minus 23, but even with that light wind, it feels like minus 31 out here this morning. The pressure is rising and the humidity sitting at 81%. Fairly clear. Most of the clouds kind of moved on out through the overnight hours. That's also when those temperatures really started to fall off into, I was going to say the deep freeze or where we're sitting right now, but in fact, as I've been saying, it is normal for this time of year. And a seasonal daytime high is what we have on tap as well, with some sunshine at about 8:22 once it finally begins to rise for us. Sunny conditions, especially along the eastern side of the province. Western Manitoba might deal with a few extra clouds today, and then we're going to see those clouds moving back into the evening overnight, bringing around a precipitation and some warmer temperatures. It's going to continue to warm up through the overnight hours, and tomorrow we're back up above the freezing mark with precipitation on the way. We're taking a break. We'll be back with more CTV Your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by Garage Masters, your complete garage specialists.
Winnipeg fire crews are battling a major blaze this morning in the 600 block of Main Street, and drivers are warned to avoid the area completely. Our CTV News camera captured these images of crews attacking the blaze at the Manwin Hotel at 655 Main Street. According to the City of Winnipeg Emergency Response Log webpage, the fire was first reported at around 3:45 this morning. Reports from the scene say the blaze forced the evacuation of the adjacent premises of the Main Street project. Those staying at MSP have been relocated in buses to Silo Mission temporarily. Winnipeg police say Main Street in both directions is closed between Disraeli and Higgins. Street closures, especially for the northbound lanes, are expected to stay in place well past the morning commute. We will have more on this later in the show. 7 members of the Canadian Armed Forces are on the ground in Pimicikamak surveying the damage following that nearly week-long power outage.
So our top priorities right now, we're looking at the community's sewage plant and the 2 water treatment facilities. Simultaneously, we're also taking a look at some of the power generation systems, so the generators that are located at those various locations.
The team's technical assessment commander says they're in the process of assessing exactly what's going on at these locations. Those assessments will inform what additional resources are needed. The commander says the community has been doing a fantastic job keeping systems running, and later today, even more help is set to arrive in the community.
So we have a electrical distribution technician who's coming in, and we have a water filtration and environment technician as well. They'll both be key in helping do the assessment on the wastewater treatment facilities, as well as support the power generation systems. The third individual is a liaison officer to help us with the coordination efforts.
Based on their assessments, the officers will determine if any further support is required. Approximately 4,400 people from the First Nation are still out of their homes. Search teams are still looking for a 23-year-old woman nearly a month after she fell through the ice on Cedar Lake southeast of the Pas. The search has been complicated by harsh conditions and a vast search area. But as CTV's Harrison Shin shows you, they're not giving up.
It's almost been a month since Tasha Furland and Corbin Constant of Mississippiwistic Cree Nation fell through the ice at Cedar Lake with their pickup truck. Corbin Constant's body was found on January 6th, but despite the best efforts of searchers like the RCMP, Hutterian Emergency Aquatic Response or HART team, and Mississippiwistic Cree Nation's Fire Department, Tasha Furland has not been found.
Our people are determined that the search will be successful, and we're keeping going until we find her.
How far is it out? 300 feet.
The HART team is using several pieces of equipment to find Furland, like a remotely operated vehicle and a marine scanner inside the waters of the lake. It's this technology that helped them find Corbin Constant.
Kind of a mix of emotions. Of course, we're devastated, but also really relieved and grateful that he was able to be recovered.
Chief Heidi Cook of Mississippiwistic Cree Nation says the discovery of Constant acted as a boost, renewing hope they will find Furland soon. Paul Mandel from the HART team says they've been on the ground since before Christmas, but with a big search area and volunteers having their own day jobs, Mandel says prayers are needed.
I've seen them working extremely hard in all the worst weather conditions here. Cutting holes with chainsaws.
All for the same goal of bringing Furland home. Harrison Shin, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The Manitoba government is sharing a new roadmap aimed at reducing poverty in our province.
Pathways Forward is more than just a strategy. It's a commitment to action, to accountability, and to partnership.
The NDP government has rolled out its Pathway Forward strategy. The 5-year plan focuses on helping 3 groups: seniors, children 5 and under, and youth aging out of care. The province wants to make sure these groups have access to health care, education, and safe places to live.
To ensure that Manitobans, have the opportunities that they need to thrive, and also to have a Manitoba that everyone is included and no one is left behind. So we've already been doing that work. We will continue to do this work. We'll be guided by the vision and the targets in our strategy.
Families Minister Nahanni Fontaine says targets and strategy initiatives will be shared in upcoming reports. The province developed the strategy with input from more than 3,000 Manitobans over the past 2 years. Spectacular new images of the Northern Lights are showing the natural phenomenon from an angle rarely seen before. The breathtaking visuals capture the aurora borealis as it hugs the edge of the Earth with colorful lights. The dazzling display was captured by a member of Japan's National Space Agency from on board NASA's International Space Station. The aurora borealis is a natural phenomenon caused when energy particles from the sun collide with Earth's atmosphere and create shimmering curtains of light. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. The northbound median lane on Wall Street will be closed from Wellington to Sargent following the rush. On Ubick Street, the northbound and southbound curb lanes will be closed between Cordon and Doncaster. And the northbound curb and median lanes on St. Mary's Road will be closed from Abenoshi-Mi'kmaq to Fermor Avenue. If you have any other traffic tips to share with us, text them to us, please, at 10400.
Traffic is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Open late, ready when you are.
Looking outside now through the CTV Live Eye, which is brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. So it's a little bit chilly out there this morning, a bit of a wake up from where we were yesterday. Started out the day yesterday in the plus digits, and suddenly we are feeling what is normal for this time of year, but perhaps is a bit of an adjustment after getting spoiled with those very mild temperatures. So here we are in the low -20s, high -teens along this western border. That's actually where there's a few extra clouds, providing that bit of a blanket of insulation. Where it's clear, it's often colder, and we're seeing that as we're taking a look around the province. Moving up into northern Manitoba, and we've got some -30s in around the Thompson area. Otherwise, you're looking at -24 Lynn Lake, but a little bit colder here in the northeast, -27. Again, slightly clearer along this eastern border and the heavier clouds off to the west of us, but still the wind chill values are adding that additional bite. Minus 31 is what it's feeling like here in Winnipeg right now. Still not as bad as the minus 38 that is feeling like up in the Churchill area. I mentioned the clear versus the clouds, and there you can see all along that eastern border, clear sky to kick off the day, few extra clouds along that western border, and we'll see more of those building up throughout the day today. Here on the eastern side, though, it will remain fairly sunny. Still a little bit chilly, though. Minus 20 as kids head off to school. Minus 16 through the lunch hour, and by the time they're coming home, minus 14. Now, that is normal for this time of year, so a return to seasonal temperatures, but then it actually continues to warm up overnight, taking us above the freezing mark for tomorrow. Another round of precipitation that will be changing back to the more frozen form, even if it is more mixed on Thursday. And from there, those temperatures continue to slide. We're back in the deep freeze this weekend. So this is cool because what we're seeing, this was taken yesterday around 7:30. This is actually a field, so it's not ice, but the water melted on top of it, so it does look like a bit of a skating rink out there right here in Winnipeg. Thanks to Roz for the photo, and keep them coming to Winnipeg Weather at CTV.ca. We're taking a break. We'll see you soon.
Hey ho, snap a pick for your chance to win with our Best in Fest contest. Festival du Voyageur returns February 13th to the 22nd. And we want to see how you're gearing up, whether it's snowshoeing, beard growing, or building a snow fort. Whatever it is, we want to see it. Upload your photo to our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca, or post it to social media using the hashtag Best in Fest contest. Weekly winners will be selected to win a 4-pack of passes to Festival du Voyageur. This is something many parents are familiar with, Monster Moods.
Calm down, Principal.
Monster Moods is the name of a new board game. The goal is to help kids show their feelings in those times when they have trouble expressing them through words. Here's how the game works. Kids play the role of the little monsters as they move around the board. Adults will ask them how each situation makes the monsters feel. The game was created in France. Concordia University is launching it in Canada. A remarkable story of hope and survival. A beloved dog is back home with its North Vancouver family after spending nearly 2 months lost in the backcountry on its own. Here's CTV's Martin McMahon with more.
This is the moment Bammy, a rescue dog who went missing, was reunited with her owners over the weekend.
Some people think dog is just pet or just dog is dog, but I don't agree. Many people say dog or pet is family. Yes, I totally agree.
Bammy, a 4-year-old Korean Jindo, spent 54 days alone on the North Shore after breaking free from her leash and collar during a walk in November. Her owners hired pet searchers to find her, and while there were sightings, capturing her was a challenge.
What made Bammy so tricky was that she wouldn't stick to an area for more than a day, and so we had multiple cameras out, we had traps set for her, and we just couldn't get them in the right spots because she would never be in the same area.
As the weeks dragged on, owner Johan Kim says some people told him it was unlikely the dog was still alive, but he kept hope, even as video showed her dramatic weight loss.
I believe the Jindo, especially Bammy, especially Jindo, this instinct's really good survival in the forest.
Then, after weeks of close calls and brief glimpses of Bammy on camera, a breakthrough. Mills and his pet searchers colleague Julia were tipped off that the dog had been spotted near Kenneth Gordon Maplewood School. After arriving, they were able to spot Bammy using a drone, eventually reuniting her with her owners.
It was a great search and stressful at times, but we're super happy with the outcome and that she's back home.
Also relieved, Bammy's owners, who refused to accept their dog was gone for good.
Do not never ever give up to find the pet.
Mommy. An example that when there's hope, there's always a chance. Martin McMahon, CTV News.
Here's a look at Provencher. Things are moving well here. We do have a note, though, in traffic. Main Street is closed northbound and southbound between Higgins and Disraeli. We'll be right back after this break.
You'll be reaching for for all the extra layers today. The chilly temperatures are back, or in fact, what is normal for this time of year, but having to adjust to those cooler temperatures now after yesterday's balmy start. We're at minus 23, though it feels like minus 31 with northwest winds, only 10 kilometers per hour. The pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 81%. So yes, those winds are on the lighter side this morning, but still, with the temperatures sitting where they're at, it's got that chill to it for sure. Here you can see all along the eastern border, very clear conditions that'll set us up for plenty of sunshine today. There will, however, be heavier clouds all along this western border that will continue to stack up throughout the day, and then maybe overnight we'll start to see those as well. Minus 14, though, with that sunshine, it's going to be a beautiful looking day, and if you're properly dressed for it, a beautiful feeling day. And that's because those winds, they're not going to be too intense. Out of the south at about 20 kilometers per hour, and we're back to seasonal temperatures. Seasonal temps with sunshine, light winds, honestly, that's my perfect day. It's not going to stay that way, though. Those temperatures are actually going to continue to warm up overnight. So minus 15 might be our lowest temperature, but we could rise to minus 6 by morning. The winds will be back, and perhaps a round of precipitation to move through in the overnight hours. Another round of precipitation throughout the day tomorrow, but pushing above the freezing mark, we could be seeing that more mixed form, a bit of freezing rain or some possible showers even. And those northwest winds, oof, they're going to be nasty, gusting at times to 60 kilometers per hour. Then it's back to seasonal, so plus digits for Thursday, back to normal or close to it for Friday. Suddenly we're going to see those temperatures plummeting. We've got a cold weekend ahead.
Disgraced former Winnipeg police officer Elston Bostock was back in court Tuesday, this time for his sentencing hearing after pleading guilty to trafficking drugs on the job and a number of other offenses. Both Crown and defense lawyers told the court there simply hasn't been an officer of Bostock's longevity commit this many crimes during his tenure on the force. In court, Provincial Crown Attorney Ari Milo spoke at length, detailing Bostock's corrupt actions while on the force. In the Crown sentencing materials, court heard the officer was found stealing drugs from a crime scene in October 2022. In October 2024, weeks before he was kicked off the force, WPS conducted 2 integrity tests on Bostock as they became suspicious of the officer's activities. The Crown recommended a maximum sentence of 6 years, plus an additional year for the drug trafficking. Federal Crown Attorney Jenna Hyman says Bostock's actions strike at the integrity of policing. Meantime, Bostock's lawyer said the 22-year veteran on the force spent the last several years on the job suffering from depression and heavy use of marijuana and alcohol. They asked Justice Champagne to consider Bostock's many years of service before his life started to spiral. After the defense spoke, court then heard from Bostock himself, who gave an impassioned statement acknowledging the family in connection with the indignity to human remains charge, apologizing to them, his own family, and members of the force. The defense is asking for a 2-year sentence with a consecutive sentence attached for his other convictions. The Crown is asking for a 7-year joint sentence. Justice Champagne reserved his sentencing decision until Friday, January 23rd. Less than 2 weeks after it opened for the season, the Nestawaya River Trail at the Forks is closed.
It's just too much standing water and a lot of slush. It's not exactly the safest experience you want.
The warmer weather has caused the Forks to shut down the trail on the river as well as the rink under the canopy. The Forks says crews checked conditions each morning and determined it wasn't optimal for skating.
But we just want to make sure conditions are the best for people to get out and enjoy them. And, you know, if it gets a little warmer, just pop open the website, take a look, and head on down, or don't. Or come down and have a drink, and come down and enjoy the Forks in a different way.
For those still hoping to lace up their skates for a spin, the rink at the CN stage and the upper overland trails remain open. You can check conditions and which skating areas are open on the Forks website. A high-end retailer has filed for bankruptcy. Saks Global, which owns Saks Fifth Avenue and Neiman Marcus, has filed for Chapter 11 protection. Saks bought Neiman Marcus last year with the goal of creating a fashion powerhouse. Instead, the deal just saddled the company with more debt. Saks plans to keep its stores open as it goes through the bankruptcy process. All Saks Fifth Avenue stores in Canada closed when Hudson's Bay went out of business. Imagine talking face-to-face with someone who's recording the entire interaction without any sign of doing so, and then having it posted online. That's what's happening to countless women, including in Vancouver. Sophisticated smart glasses are posing a challenge for lawmakers as victims speak up on the need for change. CTV's Penny Daflos explains.
Striking out while approaching women is nothing new. But covertly recording video of the interaction and then posting it online is a new fad.
You're beautiful.
And it's happening regularly in downtown Vancouver.
When I saw it, I was in shock, and it definitely brought up a lot of anxiety.
Cassie Zanjani had no idea she'd been recorded until a friend sent her a link to a video with thousands of views.
I felt quite humiliated, as I felt like the intention behind this was to degrade women, as well as being intoxicated myself that night. It doesn't put me in the best light.
Local women are becoming aware of the situation.
Oh, this is the guy who takes the video.
I'm the guy?
No, get out! Get out!
After seeing posts at Vancouver locations on social media.
It doesn't matter. She's so gorgeous. Doesn't matter if I'm recording or not.
There's no shortage of examples online.
You're the prettiest girl in all Miami.
Some even linking to the high-tech glasses they're using.
Capture your unique perspective in an instant, straight from your glasses.
Meta's smart glasses continue to evolve with powerful AI features and even solutions for people with disabilities.
Real-life subtitles.
The technology has prompted fierce debate among content creators. While filming with a camera or smartphone is obvious, using glasses isn't. Plus, there's no shortage of advice on how to hide the recording indicator light.
Meta tells CTV News users are responsible for complying with all applicable laws and for using Ray-Ban Meta glasses in a safe, respectful manner.
It's my view that our legislation and our laws just generally have not kept up with online harms. And that people are experiencing all these new types of harms and technology changes, and then there's another version of it.
BC is already at the forefront of tackling online harms, and the Attorney General says if federal laws are lackluster,
if we need to fill gaps in BC with our legislation, then I'm absolutely looking for that.
Maybe for some, seeing this as some sort of like viral, cheap click kind of video that's maybe funny to them, it's actually really violating for the person that it's happening to.
A first-hand warning about this new technology and its potential impacts. Penny Daflos, CTV News, Vancouver.
Here's what's happening right now on Kenniston Boulevard. Things are moving really well over here, but there is a major fire in the 600 block of Main Street right now, causing traffic disruptions in the area. Main Street in both directions is closed between Disraeli and Higgins. Logan Avenue is also closed. Street closures, especially for the northbound lanes, are expected to stay in place well past the morning commute, so you might want to avoid this area entirely. If you have any other traffic tips, let us know. Here's a look at your gas prices now. The Canadian average is $1.25. The provincial average is lower at $1.18. In Winnipeg, the average is also $1.18. And the lowest price in Winnipeg is $1.10. All this info is on GasBuddy.com.
Weather is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Open late, ready when you are.
So yesterday was such a beautiful and mild start to the day, and almost too much so. We were waking up, we were in the plus digits. I was making snowballs out here and saying how wonderful and sticky the snow was, right, for snowballs, snowmen, all of that. I just checked the integrity of the snow this morning. It's kind of like crusty, and then when you get through the crust, it's just powdery. So it's not exactly going to be as fun, and it's nowhere near as warm, but it will be a beautiful day if you just want to get out for a stroll, and that's because we've got a clear sky this morning and some lighter winds. Minus 23, it feels like minus 31, so if you are headed out for that stroll, make sure that you're properly bundled up, and then grab the sunglasses because it is fairly clear out here as well. Not that the sun is up. That'll be happening at about 8:22 this morning. Pressure rising, humidity sitting at 81%, but yes, once the sun is up, this will be what I call a beautiful winter day when we will be enjoying that sunshine. It's going to be crisp feeling. I mean, it seems cold, but that's only because we're adjusting to what is normal again. So minus 20s in the morning temperatures, mid-minus teens in the afternoon. But here's the thing. Today will be sunny and seasonal with those light winds. We're going to swing up above the freezing mark again tomorrow, and those winds will be increasing too.
On January 1st, most Ontario landlords were able to raise the rent by a maximum of 2.1%. But retirement homes can raise the monthly bill for rent and care services by any amount, and advocates don't think that's right. Here's CTV's Pat Foran.
What did you think when you found out it's going to be almost 4% instead of 2.1%?
Well, it made me sick. It made me sick.
89-year-old Estelle Arlo has lived at Venvie Don Mills Seniors Apartments for the past 16 years. She was expecting her rent to increase 2.1% under this year's rent guideline, but was shocked to get a notice her rent would be going up 3.99%.
I think it's a big cash grab.
Arlo's monthly rent was just increased from $3,784 to over $3,900. The fee includes TV, phone, internet, and the opportunity to visit a physician on site, but she buys her own groceries and makes her own food. She believes the increase is not justified.
I was just flummoxed. I couldn't believe it.
The building is managed by Coger Senior Living, which told CTV News of the total 4% increase indicated, 2.1% applies to rent, while the remaining portion relates to services. We recognize any increase can be difficult, particularly for those on fixed incomes.
The landlord has the ability to really increase the overall charge by whatever they want.
The Advocacy Center for the Elderly says retirement homes must adhere to the rent cap on the rent portion of the monthly bill. However, for other services in retirement homes, there is no cap. Advocates say there should be to protect seniors.
Older adults living in retirement home accommodation are often on fixed incomes, and they simply can't afford to pay exorbitant increases.
The Federation of Metro Tenants Associations says seniors risk homelessness if their rents rise too quickly.
We need to have regulation in place that is able to help tenants that are suffering under these economic conditions.
It's a lot of money still.
I know, and I don't have it.
Arlo says she'll now have to cut costs to pay her rent and says the government should introduce a cap on retirement home services to protect seniors from being overcharged. Pat Foran, CTV News.
Here's a look at the early markets. The Dow Jones lost 168 points. The Nasdaq is down 155. The S&P index dipped 28. The Canadian dollar is slightly up to 72.1 cents U.S. Overseas, the Hang Seng is up 151 points and the Nikkei added 792. Good morning, it is 6:46. The man arrested in connection to a hateful graffiti spree in the city has been rearrested. But according to police, this latest alleged incident isn't related to the first incident. Police say shortly before midnight Friday, officers were sent to a home in Crescentwood for a report of a break-in. The homeowner said they were awakened by their security alarm and found a man standing inside their home. They shouted at him and he left. There were no reports of damage or theft. Officers found the suspect nearby and took him into custody. 34-year-old Oliver Ederhoff is now charged with break and enter with intent and failure to comply. The arrest happened the day after he was arrested in connection to 14 instances of vandalism, including swastikas spray painted on a synagogue and mosque. None of the charges have been tested in court. The city is looking for someone to install new guardrails at the Millennium Library. The city has issued an RFP for someone to remove and replace the guardrails on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th floors, overlooking the Reading Terrace. They'll also be replacing the temporary fencing, which was put in place in the fall following a pair of incidents, including one where a man died. A city spokesperson says the new guardrails will be made of tempered glass and aluminum and stand between 7 and 8 feet tall. The RFP closes February 6th. A warning out of Quebec after the lug nuts were removed from a car in what some people say could be part of some sort of TikTok challenge.
People think it may be funny, somebody's going to lose a wheel. First of all, there's damage, so the people will be, have physical damage on their car, but lives are at risk.
Raphael Blais says his car started to shake as he was driving. Just before getting on the highway, he turned back. That's when he realized the lug nuts, which fasten the tires in place, were missing on one wheel. After posting his experience online, he learned about the lug nut challenge that circulated on TikTok years ago. His mechanic told him the lug nuts were removed manually and said a lot of people have also reached out with similar stories. Police say if it was intentional or a prank, it could constitute a criminal offense. Winnipeg Transit underwent its most recent update in 2025, and now the city is showing off how much the system and Winnipeg has evolved over the last 150 years.
It's a powerful record of change in the built environment. There's incredible street views showing Winnipeg neighborhoods and communities.
City archivists poured over 6,000 photos from Winnipeg Transit, which until recently were stored in 26 binders. They've since digitized 600 of them. The prints date back to the 1880s and feature everything from horse-drawn streetcars to the orange and cream-colored buses in use during much of the 20th century to today's modern fleet.
a lot of the work that needed to be done was to describe and caption each photo, and that meant doing a lot of research to identify the location in the photo, to date it, just to provide meaningful descriptors so that it could be more readily utilized by a broad range of users.
The snapshot of Winnipeg Transit's history is available through the Winnipeg in Focus website, the City Archives database, with more photos set to be added in time. A select collection is also temporarily on display at City Hall, and all 6,000 of the photos are available to view at the City Archives. Nobody loves a snow day quite as much as these guys. These two pandas at a zoo in Vienna were pleased to get out and play in the snowy conditions, rolling, climbing, and even eating the snow. Zookeepers say this kind of weather resembles their native climate in China's mountain forests. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. We have a major fire in the 600 block of Main Street, causing traffic disruptions in the area. Main Street in both directions is closed between Disraeli and Higgins. Logan Avenue is also closed. Street closures, especially for the northbound lanes, are expected to continue well past the morning commute. If you have any other traffic tips to share with us, please text them to us at 10400.
And it's a chilly start to your morning at -23, feeling though like -31 with that breeze. Now the winds are on the lighter side out of the northwest, just 10 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity sitting at 81%. Now I say a chilly start, but really it's all relative. That's mostly compared to the +3 that we were sitting at yesterday morning at this time. However, where we are right now this morning, it's pretty much back to normal for this time of year. It's just having to make that adjustment of what exactly is normal. Now, along the eastern side of the province, the conditions very clear. Off to the west, we're seeing some slightly heavier clouds, and there's a big difference with those clouds, where they're at, and how those temperatures are feeling, or what they're going to feel like throughout the day today, because what we're looking at now is the high temperatures expected, and we're going to be from the mid to high minus teens or even the low 20s through the northeast, but there will be plenty of sunshine to enjoy there as well. Northwestern Manitoba, considerably warmer with some heavier clouds and maybe some scattered precipitation. You'll see temperatures climbing well above seasonal, compared to Norway House, where it might be a little bit sunnier, but a little bit cooler as well. And all through southwestern Manitoba, again, well above what you would expect for this time of year. -13, that would be a normal daytime high. You're not going to be seeing as much sunshine, nowhere near as much as we'll be seeing on the eastern side, but with those heavier clouds and the precipitation, you will be lucking in with those slightly milder temperatures. Here today, a seasonal day expected, -14, pretty much bang on what is normal for this time of year, and most of us will be enjoying mainly sunny conditions, or at least a mix of sun and cloud, and a nice break from those winds as well, which will be important to enjoy today because those winds increasing overnight and throughout the day tomorrow. However, the temperatures tomorrow will be on the rise and is actually going to end up to be an above seasonal day, similar to yesterday, cracking the freezing mark and pushing up into the plus digits, but precipitation moving in that'll last through Friday when the temperatures start to fall, and then fall further yet this coming weekend.
Thank you, Terry. CFL winter meetings taking place in Calgary this week. A long list of discussion topics on the agenda, most notably the league rule changes announced last September. CTV's Donovan Mays has more.
After sweeping rule changes were announced by the CFL in September, the league is taking the next step toward their implementation and exactly what they may look like on the field.
Once the 25 season concluded, you have a little bit more time to look at those things and some of the things that are being proposed.
It's a part of the league's winter meetings this week in Calgary as coaches and general managers discuss the new rules with the league for the first time.
We're here to sort of figure all this out and make it work, right? So I'm looking forward to hearing all sorts of different thoughts and perspectives.
I want to know kind of the details of it and more the intricacies of what we're talking about. So, I think that some of them are outside the box, which are interesting.
Other topics and potential changes are also on the agenda.
Straight to the left, backs in, over the plane to the goal line.
Including modifications to short yardage plays, overtime formats, playoff structure, free agency, and a review of the replay center's mandate.
Sometimes there's things that come up that you didn't think that you had too much of an opinion on, and then you realize like, oh man, actually I do. So just excited to hear everybody's brain.
Make sure you don't change too much because you'll never know which rule made the difference, which one didn't. I mean, play football
and then figure it out from there.
In his State of the League address at the Grey Cup in November, CFL Commissioner Stuart Johnston reiterating his office's commitment to a uniquely Canadian game.
The new rules embrace innovation and perpetual improvement while protecting what makes Canadian football special.
Adding rules like 3 downs and 12 players on the field are not going anywhere. Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
Curiosity, efficiency, and technology came together to create a love story like no other in East Vancouver. CTV's Adam Sawatsky has the story.
If Graham McCarthy was asked to answer a multiple choice question about the best beginning for a love story, he likely wouldn't have picked officiate a fish funeral.
Yeah. Say that 5 times fast. Yeah, officiated a fish funeral. That's what I did.
That's what the pastor was doing when he met a friend of a friend for the first time named Katrina Froese.
So it was fun that he showed up and he had a whole eulogy, and that's the kind of humor that I was like, all right, I can get behind this.
So when he eventually asked her out, Katrina said yes. But then Graham sent her a survey to fill out about her preferences for their first date.
I thought it was a joke. I didn't think he was serious, but then he really wanted me to answer the questions. So I was like, okay, guess this is real.
The mostly multiple choice questions range from what kind of food she wanted to eat to her preference levels of fancy schmanciness, from pajamas to a dress, suit and tie.
Purely efficiency. Had a lot of questions, didn't want to send a lot of text.
Well, Graham also hoped it would be charming. And after they went to a dinner and a movie, and he presented her with a post-date survey, Katrina agreed it was. And then she posted it on social media.
Within like a couple of hours, it like blew up.
While the post earned more than 10 million views, the couple learned they were compatible in countless ways. And after dating for a few years, Graham asked Katrina to stop in the middle of a hike to look at her phone and fill out another form.
That basically gave a survey of how he's been doing in our relationship.
After answering them all positively, Katrina read the final question. Will you marry me? As you can see, she said yes. And then a few months later, they both declared, I do.
It was awesome. It was like super sweet.
Oh, it was incredible. It was the best wedding I've ever been to.
Although Graham hasn't sent any other surveys since, both he and Katrina are committed to keep having fun and always consider each other's preferences moving forward.
Like, don't seek your needs, seek the other person's needs, and if you're both doing that, then everybody's needs will be met.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Vancouver.
That's a sweet love story. All right, we're going to take a break here. We'll be right back after this. It's Wednesday, January 14th. Today, hotel fire evacuates shelter. Crews battle intense flames as Main Street closures stretch into the morning commute. Plus, school bus rollover, how a crash north of Swan River sent multiple students to hospital. And poverty reduction plan, the province unveils a new 5-year roadmap to support vulnerable families and youth. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. Happy Wednesday to you. It is 7 o'clock. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Ainsley McPhail is live at the Snow Maze in St. Adolphe this morning. It's Manitoba's largest snow maze. We're going to tell you what it takes to get ready for something like this and all the different features if you go and enjoy it with friends or family. They have really cool things there, including a snow bar, which will be fun, or a nice bar. And then we're going to find out a little bit more about the sheer manpower it takes to get this going as well. And just, it's a fun place to visit. We're also going to tell you about the Winnipeg Winter Eruption Fest, which is all about live music in different venues across the city. It's a way to warm up your hearts at this time of year when it's this cold, because it is cold today.
I know, but Winnipeg knows how to do winter, and this is why days like yesterday, I feel, are such a nuisance, even though, don't get me wrong, I mean, it was nice to be standing outside at +3, but at the same time, you don't want all of that to ruin the efforts that people are putting into all of these winter projects, like the snow maze, which you're going to be seeing later on this morning. -23 is where we sit right now, though it feels like -31 when you're factoring in that wind. Thankfully, on the lighter side this morning out of the northwest, the pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 81%. So the temperatures, yes, they're feeling considerably colder than yesterday, but actually where we fell to, it's back to normal for this time of year. It's fairly clear all along the eastern border. Clear does does mean colder, though. The temperatures along the western border, where the heavier clouds are acting as a bit of a blanket of insulation, they're considerably milder than what we're waking up to here on the eastern side. And as the day goes on, plenty of sunshine. We'll get to enjoy that today. We will see these clouds building up, though, all along the western border and eventually bringing some mixed precipitation. I mentioned seasonal temperatures here on the eastern side, but for western Manitoba, warming considerably so that you could be getting a bit of freezing rain mixed in with some of those flurries. Now, overnight, that system passing over us, so we will see those clouds building up later on into the day. And then the possibility of that precipitation, not just overnight, another round, not necessarily first thing in the morning, but by tomorrow afternoon, another round. And tomorrow's temperatures will continue to warm up. In fact, tonight's temperatures will continue to warm up. So while today will reach a fairly seasonal high of about -14, -15 will be our low temperature tomorrow or tonight, but then rising to about -6 by morning and throughout the day tomorrow, getting up into the plus digits once again. So mixed precipitation is possible, and that will linger into Friday, but it will start to cool down, especially as we're looking ahead to the weekend. A lovely shot of, it's not a shot, it's a painting, Terry. Anyway, thank you, 6-year-old River, who did our artwork for today, and we'd love to see more of what you're working on. So send that picture to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
The Weather Art of the Day is brought to you by 103.1 Virgin Radio.
Crews battling a major fire at the Manwin Hotel on Main Street this morning are working to prevent the blaze from spreading.
We're basically defending the building Main Street project to the south and the other building to the north. Main Street, this building is basically lost. It's been vacant for a while.
Crews arrived at around 3:45 this morning to find the building at 655 Main engulfed in flames. As a precaution, the Main Street project premises were evacuated. Those staying there are taking temporary shelter on buses. WFPS Platoon Chief Steve Kumka says Emergency Social Services has been called in to assist those displaced by the fire. Winnipeg police say Main Street in both directions is closed between Disraeli and Higgins. Logan Avenue is also closed. Street closures, especially for the northbound lanes on Main, are expected to stay in place well past the morning commute. The cause of the fire is still unknown. The investigation continues into what happened on a western Manitoba highway Tuesday morning when a school bus carrying 14 students rolled over. Some of them suffered significant injuries in the crash north of Swan River. 4 people were airlifted to Health Sciences Centre here in Winnipeg. They were all in stable condition but required further care. In total, 14 students aged 16 to 18 and the bus driver were hospitalized following the crash.
I've been with the family members and it's a state of shock, right? Because you think your child's going to school only to find out, he's been involved in an accident. So it sort of hits your heart in a bad way, in a sour way. Like, is my child safe? How bad hurt is my child?
The school bus was traveling from Sepatowayak Cree Nation to 2 schools in Swan River when it slid off Highway 10. Mounties believe the bus driver was attempting to pass another bus and lost control. The bus went off the highway, rolled, and came to a stop right side up. RCMP say road conditions were believed to be slippery at the time of the incident. All 15 occupants were taken to Swan Valley Health Centre for assessment and treatment.
7 are still being assessed with. They might go, right? It all depends on the extent of their injuries. Like I said, some are spinal and some broken bones. And some are head injuries. So we don't know with head injuries on what the effects are going to be after.
Shared Health initiated a code orange alert at Health Sciences Centre in case there was an influx of patients. However, the alert was later lifted. Police near Toronto are investigating a case of apparent arson involving tow trucks, which took place just minutes away from another instance of suspected arson last week. Security video shows a suspect holding what appears to be a gas canister while walking around vehicles in a lot in Brampton, Ontario. Moments later, the vehicles, including 2 tow trucks, ignite. This incident follows a similar event on January 5th that happened nearby. Several tow trucks were torched. Peel Regional Police say it was arson and are looking for multiple suspects. The Manitoba government is sharing a new roadmap aimed at reducing poverty in our province.
Pathways Forward is more than just a strategy. It's a commitment to action, to accountability, and to partnership.
The NDP government has rolled out its Pathway Forward strategy. The 5-year plan focuses on helping 3 groups: seniors, children 5 and under, and youth aging out of care. The province wants to make sure these groups have access to health care, education, and safe places to live.
To ensure that Manitobans, have the opportunities that they need to thrive, and also to have a Manitoba that everyone is included and no one is left behind. So we've already been doing that work. We will continue to do this work. We'll be guided by the vision and the targets in our strategy.
Families Minister Nahanni Fontaine says targets and strategy initiatives will be shared in upcoming reports. The province developed the strategy with input from more than 3,000 Manitobans over the past 2 years. We've all heard the line, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if it is broken, you can try bringing it to the Spence Repair Cafe.
A repair cafe is a clinic where you can bring household items that are broken and in need of repair. So maybe basic appliances or even clothing or bicycles.
The cafe is a new initiative for the Spence Neighborhood Association and is happening every second Wednesday at its headquarters on Ellis Avenue. The association has a tool library and some volunteers on site to help people fix everyday objects for free. The cafe's coordinator says it's all about giving appliances and other items a second life.
There's a whole bunch of reasons why a person might choose to repair something rather than replace it. It saves money, it saves resources, it keeps things useful and rather than in the landfill. So we think there's a lot of different reasons why someone would come out to this event.
The Spence Neighborhood Association is also looking for handy people to help fix things and teach people how to do it. The first cafe runs tonight from 6:30 to 8 at 615 Ellis Avenue. Here's a look at what's happening right now on the Norwood Bridge. It looks like things have picked up over here, as you can see, and Main Street is blocked or closed northbound and southbound, so it appears that these vehicles are making their way into the downtown.
Prime Minister Mark Carney is on his way to Beijing for a short but consequential visit as China and Canada try to move past years of diplomatic tensions and Ottawa pushes to double non-U.S. trade by 2035. It is Carney's pragmatic foreign policy in action, says Asia Pacific Foundation Vice President Veena Najibullah. Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew calling on Ontario Premier Doug Ford to drop plans for a boycott of Crown Royal whiskey, writing Ford's name on a barrel outside the plant north of Winnipeg where some of the whiskey is mashed, distilled, and aged. We understand, Doug, that you get fired up and you say things in public, but we also understand that you do the right thing when you have a chance to reconsider. Destination Ontario is encouraging fans of heated rivalry to relive their favorite moments from the Crave series by visiting filming locations across the province. The tourism body sharing on social media a list of 6 spots that serve as the backdrop to the lustful hockey show. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
All right, let's go to Ainsley McPhail now, who's braving the cold conditions to have some fun in a snow maze. Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, leave it to Manitoba to say, you know what we don't have enough of? We need to make more of it. Snow. Thousands of pounds of snow. I am standing at the entrance of what will be Manitoba's largest snow maze. Now, Amazing Corn has been doing this for 8 years now, and the preparation that goes into this is wild. I'm talking heavy machinery, tractors. They put like a base down, have to draw the outline, and they get creative with their themes as well. Each room, it's not completed yet, but each room will have a different theme. The bar this year, the snow bar, is Olympic themed for the very first time. So you can actually go in and watch your sporting event and feel extra Canadian. Stay with us throughout the morning as I get on one of those. Just kidding. That doesn't sound right.
Okay, well, we'll check in a little later.
Or legal.
All right, thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop. When you're in a snow dome like that, it kind of keeps cover from the wind and those cold conditions.
That's just it, and it's why we're able to do things like that and still have a good time, right? When you're creating a little bit of a shelter, you get enough bodies in there, and there's that warmth from it. Yeah. I'm sure yesterday they were a little bit concerned just from the warmth that Mother Nature was throwing out, plus digits in the middle of January. Not ideal for those types of conditions, but believe it or not, we're going to be heading back to those those kind of numbers as early as tomorrow, but today is not that day. Today is a return to what is normal for this time of year, which perhaps in relative terms does seem a little bit cold. Minus 24 is where we're sitting right now, which is down a degree from last hour, and it feels like minus 29, though the winds have eased even more so. They're out of the north, only 6 kilometers per hour, with the pressure rising and the humidity sitting at 81%. It's clear out here right now. It's still pretty dark. That sun not up until a little past 8 o'clock, 8:20 or so. We'll start to see that sun, and then it'll stick around throughout the day for eastern Manitoba. From northern Manitoba down into the south, the eastern side will remain clear. It's the western side of the province that'll deal with some heavier clouds, and then maybe this afternoon some mixed precipitation, because the temperatures on that western side will be on the rise, rising to above normal values. Now, we're actually going to see the temperatures rising not just through the day when we'll hit a more seasonal minus 14, but continuing to warm overnight. And then throughout the day tomorrow, that's when we too could hit the plus digits here on the eastern side of the province. So another slushy day, putting at risk some of those fun wintertime activities, but only briefly, because after that, those temperatures taking a bit of a nosedive again.
Thank you, Terry. It's time now for our question of the day. Today is National Dress Up Your Pet Day. So we want you to share your favorite outfit for your pet. You could share a photo with your answer. You could text it to 10400. Make sure to follow the automated instructions so we can feature your response. And don't forget to include your name and the photo. At Your Morning Winnipeg, we're all about celebrating your amazing pets, furry, feathered, or scaly. Your Pet of the Week submissions are amazing. We want to see more, whether it's dogs, cats, birds, or any other pet pals. Send them our way. Drop your pet photos and a fun little story about them to petoftheweek@ctv.ca, and then catch us every Thursday to find out if your pet is our Pet of the Week on Your Morning Winnipeg. All right, here's what's happening right now on Notre Dame Avenue. It looks like things are moving well here. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Good morning. 7 members of the Canadian Armed Forces are on the ground in Pimicikamak surveying the damage following that nearly week-long power outage.
So our top priorities right now, we're looking at the community's sewage plant and the 2 water treatment facilities. And simultaneously, we're also taking a look at some of the power generation systems, so the generators that are located at those various locations.
The team's technical assessment commander says they're in the process of assessing exactly what's going on at these locations. Those assessments will inform what additional resources are needed. The commander says the community has been doing a fantastic job keeping systems running, and later today, even more help is set to arrive in the community.
So we have a electrical distribution technician who's coming in, and we have a water filtration and environment technician as well. They'll both be key in helping do the assessment on the wastewater treatment facilities, as well as support the power generation systems. The third individual is a liaison officer to help us with the coordination efforts.
Based on their assessments, the officers will determine if any further support is required. Approximately 4,400 people from the First Nation are still out of their homes. Winnipeg Police Service will soon have a new tool to reach for instead of their gun or taser. The force confirms it's acquiring an unspecified number of 40-millimeter launchers, similar to the ones on your screen. A spokesperson wasn't able to say how many they're receiving or which company is supplying them, but they will be reserved for officers who have received the proper training. The launchers have an advantage over energy weapons, batons, or pepper spray because they allow for more distance between the officer and the subject. The weapons fire impact rounds, typically made out of a dense sponge or foam meant to incapacitate but not kill a person. They're being purchased with nearly $250,000 from the province's Criminal Property Forfeiture Fund. A high-end retailer has filed for bankruptcy. Saks Global, which owns Saks Fifth Avenue and Neiman Marcus, has filed for Chapter 11 protection. Saks bought Neiman Marcus last year with the goal of creating a fashion powerhouse. Instead, the deal just saddled the company with more debt. Saks plans to keep its stores open as it goes through the bankruptcy process. All Saks Fifth Avenue stores in Canada closed when Hudson's Bay went out of business. Here's a look now at Portage Avenue at Main Street. Northbound and southbound Main are closed right now due to a major fire in the 600 block of Main Street, causing traffic disruptions in that area. So it's closed in both directions between Disraeli and Higgins. Logan Avenue is also closed. The street closures, especially for the northbound lanes, are expected to stay in place well past this morning's commute. If you have any other traffic tips to share with us, please text them to us. All right, now time for some entertainment news. We start with a sad news to pass along from the funny pages. The creator of the Dilbert comic strip has died. Scott Adams announced in May he had been diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer. Dilbert became one of the most popular comic strips in the 1990s. It poked fun at the everyday indignities of office work, which many readers related to. The strip ran until 2023, when hundreds of newspapers stopped carrying it in response to racist comments Adams made. He continued publishing the comic on his website for a subscription fee. Scott Adams was 68. An award season favorite is garnering even more attention after picking up 2 Golden Globe Awards Sunday. Sinners is now a top nominee for the 57th annual NAACP Image Awards.
This ain't no house party.
The Michael B. Jordan film scored 18 nods in the motion picture category. Bel Air leads the TV categories with 7 nominations, while Kendrick Lamar leads all music nominees with 6. The ceremony will take place February 28th. One of the biggest K-pop bands in the world is embarking on a world tour in April, and the North American leg has 2 Canadian dates. Fresh off their mandatory military service in South Korea, BTS will play Toronto this summer. BTS will play Rogers Stadium on August 22nd and the 23rd. Pre-sale begins on January 22nd, and tickets go on sale to the general public on January 24th. The K-pop megastars had been on a break since 2022. Your primetime lineup starts at 7 with The Masked Singer, then catch Fear Factor, House of Fear at 8. Shark Tank is on at 9, and closing at 10 is Shifting Gears. It's all right here tonight on CTV. It's a good night to stay in and enjoy some TV, as it's going to be a cold one.
Yeah, throughout the day today, you're going to notice a bit of a chill, mostly as we return to seasonal temperatures. We're looking now through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. Starting to look a little bit brighter out there. Yeah, we could zoom in on that for sure. It's always nice to see that little bit of color along the horizon where the sun will be rising, and then knowing that we'll actually get to enjoy that sunshine throughout the day today. But you'll only be enjoying it if you're properly dressed for it, and that's going to mean a few extra layers this morning. We're sitting at -23 here in Winnipeg, and you're going to notice very similar temperatures all along this eastern side of the province. Over to the west, mid to high minus teens, and you'll notice similar temperatures to that along the western side of the province, and that's because of the cloud cover basically all along the western border and to about the center of the province. That's where the clouds will be lingering, and that's where the temperatures will be a little bit warmer. Anyone on the eastern side where it's clearer, it's going to be a little bit cooler for today. Moving up into the north, you can see mid to high -20s. That's before we're factoring in the winds. Wind chill values pushing into the mid to high -30s. Here in Winnipeg, the winds are very light, so we're not noticing too much of a factor from that. And along with those light winds will be some sunshine and seasonal temperatures. So overall, pleasant winter day expected. There you can see that cut of clouds that I'm talking about, and along the western border where we're going to see them building up even more so. As the day goes on, yes, we will warm up a little bit, but only to what is normal for this time of year, and that'll take us to about -14 by the time kids are coming home from school. But throw those extra layers on. Well, actually keep those extra layers on, because even at -14, a typical January day, which won't at all be typical tomorrow as these temperatures rise overnight and push above the freezing mark, with some mixed precipitation on the way for Thursday. That'll change back to flurries on Friday as the temperatures start to drop, and from there even more so as we're looking to a cold weekend ahead. This isn't a body of water, but I mean it is a water above the field that you're looking at out there. This was taken yesterday around 7:30 as all that snow was melting and made for an icy skating rink once it started to freeze again. Thanks to Roz for the photo. Keep them coming to Winnipeg weather at ctv.ca.
Thank you, Terry. Get ready to rev your engines. It's time for a Your Morning Winnipeg contest. Ram Motorsports Spectacular is coming to Canada Life Centre for 2 shows on February 7th and the 8th. Fans can meet the drivers and even ride in one of the trucks. Your Morning Winnipeg has a family pass for 4 to give away this week. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca. Don't forget to enter the keyword wheels. Good luck. Canadians have kicked off the new year with plans to make big spending cuts. A survey found 2/3 are expected to slash their budgets, with some targeting savings on food. CTV's Geneviève Beauchemin on who is making sacrifices and how.
This Italian grocery store and sandwich counter is whimsically called Tony Bologna.
So we make small batch every day.
On the menu at this father and son shop, a focus on best quality for the lowest price.
Just like I have families to feed, they have families to feed. So the goal was to make sure that people can feed their family at a low price, but without giving up quality. The pasta, we have it at $1.75 a bag. We make homemade tomato sauces, meat sauce, and rosé, and all the classics. So you can feed a family of 4 for $7 for a plate of pasta.
That hits the spot. A TD survey found 2/3 of Canadians say they plan to slash their monthly budgets by up to $1,000 a month. 55% say they'll cut on eating out, 44% on attending concerts, sporting events, movies. Many plan other belt-tightening measures like cutting down on subscriptions and fewer retail purchases. But it seems younger Canadians appear set to make more sacrifices. A whopping 86% of Gen Z say they're preparing to slash their budget. Compare that to 43% of boomers.
They're leaning in more into their loyalty programs, into budgeting, and also into no spending challenges, which are becoming very popular with this younger generation.
McDonald's is vying to tap into the budget squeeze. The fast food chain is freezing the price of some menu items for a year. For instance, $5 for the Meg Value Trio. This, as a recent study found more than 4,000 restaurants could close this year. At Tony Bologna's, father and son say people still gotta eat, and they want to feed neighborhood families well.
So that's why we even have all the ingredients here at the low price that you could go home and do it yourself if you want to.
And we'll have to see just how long Canadians will be forced to stick to that resolution to cut back.
All right, Ainsley McDowell is live at the Snow Maze near St. Adolphe. Check this out. It's still a work in progress, but look at how cool it looks already. Stay with us for more details on when you can see it for yourself. Let's go to Ainsley McPhail now, who's live near St. Adolphe. The Snow Maze is almost ready for visitors, and that's where you are this morning. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning, Rochelle. Clint and Albie are joining us from the Snow Maze. This is awesome. How big is it, Clint?
Well, we're the biggest in the world, so do we need to say more? No.
Are you allowed to tell us?
I think we are. Like, we're 240 feet in each direction, so someone's going to have to do the math for me. So.
Okay. I can see the preparation because it's not officially done. The 26th is when it's going to be open. 24th is when it's going to be open. 24th. And so how does it all come together before then?
Well, it takes a ton of people. So there's about 25 of us that are building away. We've got 4 people on machines, and then there's artists. We must have at least 10, so there's over. And then there's all the guys that are packing the snow, shoveling the snow into the Snow Maze walls. So yeah, it's relentless how many hours. Compared to a corn maze, this is a whole different monster.
And the difference as well is that you need to look at the height a little bit more, you were saying.
Yeah, so we're 6.5 feet high. We kind of cut some 8-foot sheets of plywood down because we thought, well, that's less snow. And you know what? Nobody's eyes are 6.5 feet tall, so we thought we were pretty good. And as we looking in here, we got lots of room.
Yeah, just don't bring in the NBA.
That's right. 6'8". We're the other way. We have a 2 tall line. So
nice.
No, you can't come in.
When it comes to themes, each room kind of has its own thing going on.
Yeah, so that's kind of the big thing that keeps it super unique every year. And we've got 5 different buildings that are distributed and you have to find in the Snow Maze. And each one has a different theme. We've got a tractor theme. We, of course, because we're kind of leaning into the Canada going to the Olympics, we have an Italian one, and we've got a tractor one, and we've got some beluga whales in one. So we've got all kinds of cool artwork in here.
Okay, and I want to show one more thing. I'm not sure if cameraman Kenny's camera will capture it, but up in the sky, that actually is the snow being made. So that thing there that looks like a big old cloud, yeah, that's the snow being made. And he was saying, some days I feel like it's going all the way to Winnipeg. I'll talk to you guys at 7:42.
Okay, thank you, Ainsley. And it looks gold out there.
Well, yes, but it's also starting to look really pretty with that bit of day glow happening. I mean, we're still, what time is it now? 7:30. We're still almost an hour away from sunrise. But look at that sky. I shouldn't say, I mean, yeah, I guess I'm accurate saying almost an hour. 8:20 or so is sunrise, so 50 minutes roughly. Minus 24, you can see that exhaust fog moving through. In fact, even this morning when I was standing up there on the rooftop, I'd try to look up to see if I could do some stargazing, but my breath just kept creating this cloud. So exhaust fog will probably be a bit of a factor for your drive. Minus 29 is what it feels like. The winds are light, though, out of the north, 6 kilometers per hour. The pressure rising and the humidity sitting at 81%. Gorgeous and clear, though, and that sky is going to look spectacular, at least for the next little while. And we're going to see those beautiful changing colors before the sun officially begins to rise. And there you can see on the satellite image just how clear it is. That's not at all the case along the western border, but the heavier clouds will actually mean warmer temperatures and then eventually some precipitation, especially up into the northeast for later on today. Here on the eastern side, though, beautiful sunny conditions. Seasonal temperatures that might seem a little bit cold, especially this morning in the minus 20s. That's normal for this time of year, and around minus 13 would be a normal daytime high. So we're practically reaching that today, getting up to minus 14, which is a moderate breeze out of the south, but everything is about to change. Tonight we'll dip to about minus 15, so only falling off a degree. That'll be as the sun sets, and then it actually continues to warm up overnight. We could reach minus 6 by morning time, but that's going to come with stronger south winds gusting at times to 50 clicks, and with the heavier clouds it'll build up some precipitation overnight, and then even more precipitation expected for tomorrow. Could be a rain snow mix because these temperatures pushing up into the plus digits once again with some very strong winds shifting out of the northwest. From there, that precipitation will linger into Friday, but changing back to flurries, and further yet into the weekend we're going to see those temperatures taking a slide again.
We have breaking news this morning. Crews are still battling a major fire in the 600 block of Main Street, causing traffic disruptions in that part of the city. Our CTV News camera captured these images of crews attacking the blaze at the Manwin Hotel at 655 Main Street. According to the City of Winnipeg Emergency Response Log webpage, the fire was first reported at around 3:45 this morning, and reports from the scene say the blaze forced the evacuation of the adjacent premises of the Main Street project. And now we're going to be joined by the Main Street Project's Jamil Mahmood, and we're going to find out a little bit more about the impact on Main Street Project. Good morning, Jamil.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. Now, when did you first find out that there was something going on Main Street?
Yeah, it was about 4 in the morning. We got the notifications on our alarm system, and then started mobilizing support response on site.
Okay, so what does that mean for you? You had to go there and do what exactly?
So the first step was figure out if shelter needed to be evacuated or not. So it was determined that shelter did need to be evacuated. So we quickly worked to get, working with emergency social services to get buses down. We got about 40 people onto buses, and then helped get the other folks to other Silo Mission, Salvation Army, or the Dinowaymak, the other shelters. We sent some staff over to help at the winter pop-up at Salvation Army, and then we set up a emergency drop-in center in partnership with the City Social Services at Freight House Community Center on Ross and Isabel there, and we'll have that'll be our temporary drop-in site until we know more about the building.
And I guess the concern is, paint a picture of the site itself. So the hotel is where exactly in relation to Main Street Project?
Yeah, so on the corner, the old Mitchell Fabrics building is our shelter building. So we had about 200 people in shelter when this happened. And then on the other side of the Manwin, we also have our food bank and administration office. So right now, both buildings are not accessible while they're fighting the fire. And I know they have to go inside both buildings and do some fire protection from inside as well.
What is the concern on the fire's impact if it does spread to those buildings?
Yeah, I mean, we see on average 300 people through shelter every day. And so that'd be 300 people without a place to go. We've already talked to our partners. They're going to extend their and make sure they have room. And then if they need extra staffing, we'll send some staff over, and then we'll work on the freight house site. And then depending on the status of the building, whether we need to set up an overnight shelter as well, and how much spaces will be determined once we know the state of the building once the firefighting's done.
Jamil, tell us a little bit about the impact. I mean, obviously this has happened in the middle of the night for people. They're sleeping, they were rested, they were warm, and then this happens. Describe sort of the chaos that erupted.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, folks responded really well. And so it wasn't chaotic. People were understanding. Obviously, the blaze was pretty large, so folks handled it pretty well. I didn't get any reports of any incidents or that, and folks were, it's very cold out this morning, so getting folks onto those buses so they could be warm as quick as possible, or getting them over to Silo Mission so they could get to the pop-up went pretty quickly. So within half an hour we had everyone situated and moved, and then by 6 in the morning we were already opening up the drop-in center at Freight House.
Okay, describe. I know it's too preliminary at this point to say what you need at this point, but if people are watching at home, they want to support you in any way, what can they do to help you?
Yeah, I think right now we'll probably need an increase of, winter coats, blankets, things like that. Immediately, if we're setting up a pop-up shelter, we may need some other resources like mats or cots if we have to stay overnight. And then, not knowing the damage, any support that folks can provide right now for food or clothing or stuff like that. Our food bank and our clothing bank are in the same building, so we don't know if I'll have access to that for the next little while, so we might have limited access to additional clothes for folks, especially winter gear. So anything like that would go a long way right now. We're not sure where we can accept donations yet, but we'll keep folks updated. But donating to any of our partners right now, either any of the shelters could take extra donations and help get them to us, and we'll update more once we have more of a plan in place.
Okay, Jamil, thank you so much. I know it's a crazy day, and we appreciate your time this morning. Here's a look at what the skyline looks like right now. It is gorgeous. It's starting to brighten up out there. It's minus 24 with the wind chill. It is minus 29. More Your Morning Winnipeg after this.
Beautiful shot of that sun rising over the city. Well, not technically, but the glow just in advance of sunrise is pretty spectacular. We're sitting now at minus 24. Bit of a change up from those mild temps yesterday, but in fact, we're back to what is normal for this time of year. And that minus 24 comes with just a slight breeze out of the north at 6 kilometers per hour, making it feel like minus 29. Look at that exhaust fog, how it can just completely change the visual out there. Pressure rising, the humidity at 81%. Keep that in mind for your drive as well. You're stopped at a light. A couple cars start to go and suddenly you have zero visibility from that exhaust fog. That often slows things down in traffic, so you can perhaps anticipate a little bit of extra delays this morning, not to mention some of the traffic problems you'll hear more about in the news. All right, here's a look at the satellite image right now. Clear on the eastern side, cloudy on the western side. We'll see more of these clouds building up, but with the clouds will come the milder temperatures, and you're going to see a big change up between where the eastern side of the province will end up today in the mid to high minus teens and low minus 20s, with perhaps some better conditions and plenty of sunshine to enjoy. But with the heavier clouds will come those milder temperatures, maybe some precipitation to be showing up later today. And in fact, with as mild as these temperatures will be rising, there's even the possibility of some mixed precipitation or some freezing rain tucked in there. So that could change up the traction on the streets or highways as well. Further into the south, maybe a bit more sunshine still on the milder side, whereas eastern Manitoba, a little bit cooler. Minus 13 is a normal daytime high, and many of us will be in those more seasonal zones as far as temperatures go. But while we'll get to about minus 14 throughout the day today, we're actually going to continue to warm up overnight. By morning time, we could be around minus 6 and then pushing into the plus digits throughout the day tomorrow. That will, though, come with some heavier clouds, some mixed precipitation, and much stronger winds. From there, temperatures start to fall off, and we're going to find ourselves in the deep freeze this weekend.
Thanks, Terry. Let's go back now to Ainsley Big Phil, who's live at the snow maze this morning near St. Adolphe. Good morning.
Good morning. We are in the Italian room, and I was saying to them earlier, every room that I walk into is the Italian room. Rochelle, the kids, the cookies are here, come in. That's my Aunt Rosa. I think I did a good job. We'll have to ask my Uncle Diego about that one. Clint, good morning. Largest snow maze in Manitoba. Why an Italian room?
You know, it's the big reason is, hey, we're going to the Olympics, and Canada's going to do well in Cortina, so we wanted to just get some theme stuff going on inside the maze as well.
Okay, we'll set the scene because you guys aren't complete. Your artists are working very hard right now. Tell us a little bit about how this is coming together.
So this is the Italian chef, and he's making the pizza, and it's under construction, so you can't totally visualize it all yet. But we've got 14 different artists. There's approximately 3 working in here, and then we've got some big groups that are doing 2 rooms each, and they're like six artists in each room.
That must be a dream for them to be able to curate something so specific and so unique.
Yeah, like it's a rare type of art. Even ice artists. I was talking to Corby, who's actually going to the Olympics. He's actually doing some carving here for us, but then he's going to Cortina to do the Olympic ice carving there. And he said there's only like 15 of us in Canada that are doing ice carving in an artist format. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
And how long does it take? Because the level of detail, too, I know we're showing it now, but everything from the little door here to the window, like all of it. The dog is trying to nibble on cameraman Kenny's feet.
Yeah, Albie is like kind of the authentic dog of the snow maze. But it takes them, 3 weeks, I would say, like the group. So there'll be 2 or 3, and it'll take them 3 weeks to get the room totally artisted all the way out.
Mm-hmm. We're almost out of time. It's obvious, but why should people come?
Well, just to get outside. Hey, it's Manitoba. We're tough. We can do outside stuff. And then do the maze. We've got Snow Mountain, but we've got all these artist rooms, and every year they're new, so they're worth seeing.
Awesome. And if you guys, I know that they're not done yet, so if they need a little bit of inspiration on the side of the chef's face, you're more than welcome to use my nose as inspiration. I can't cook.
Well, from threats to lewd acts, unruly passengers are causing disruptions in the air and grounding flights across Canada. CTV's Kathy Lee on which flights are facing the most turbulence on board.
Passenger misbehavior is creating turbulence in the cabin, with Canadian transportation authorities logging 114 incidents last year, triggering delays, diversions, and turnbacks.
These delays just have a chain reaction. They affect everybody on the flight,
including Tony Martins, whose European trip last spring started out bumpy and interrupted by an unruly passenger.
I think he was drunk.
Martin says the pilot of the Air Canada 777 aircraft had to dump some fuel from the plane to make an emergency landing, causing a 4-hour delay and an eventual arrest.
I was frustrated. We just want to get going.
The bad behavior reported, including indecent exposure, being drunk, inappropriate touching, starting fights and uttering threats, and vaping on board, just to name a few.
People have to recognize that there are very, very real consequences of this misbehavior.
Almost 40% of misbehaved passenger reports involved flights in and out of Calgary, the most of any city, followed by Toronto with 24% and Vancouver with 18%. WestJet was involved in nearly 60% of those cases. It's hub-based in Calgary. In a statement, a WestJet and Sunwing spokesperson said the airlines have zero tolerance for this behavior, and Air Canada tells CTV News it carries 40 million customers annually, and the number of disruptive passenger incidents during the year is minuscule by comparison. When bad behavior causes a flight diversion, it not only puts the safety of the passengers at risk, it comes with a substantial cost. An aviation expert says dumping fuel and diverting a plane like a 777 can cost at least $100,000. Kathy Lee, CTV News, Calgary.
Let's see who's celebrating a milestone today. Happy 50th birthday to Sean, with love from your family. Happy 80th birthday to Nano Aldo. Love Isabella, Cade, Peyton, Kelly, Lachlan, Nathan, Christian, and Carson. Bonne fête Mia et Jack. On t'aime beaucoup de ma mère, Pépette, ma tante Monica, mon oncle Dylan, and Charlie. And a happy 70th anniversary to Arlene and Wilbert, with love from and best wishes from all the people who call you Mom and Dad and Ama and Grandpa. To submit your milestone, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form at least 2 days in advance. It'll also enter you into our monthly contest for a chance to win a $100 gift certificate to Party Stuff.
Milestones is brought to you by Party Stuff, Winnipeg's balloon headquarters with 3 locations.
Weather is brought to you by Blinds Are Beautiful. Our new Hunter Douglas showroom is at 900 Lorimer.
All right, looking at the temperatures today, oh, do you know what? I have to apologize because I didn't adjust this from yesterday. I didn't save my changes. I did all that work, but if you don't hit save, then there's no point in doing all of that work, is there? Let this be a reminder to pay attention to the work that you're doing. I can fast forward to today, though, and tell you that it is going to be a beautiful day. That was looking at yesterday when we were sitting at 3 degrees as our high temperature first thing in the morning. And we're not at all seeing numbers like that today. We will, however, see numbers similar to that again for tomorrow, but today will be the change up as we're returning to seasonal values. Sitting now at minus 24, though it feels like minus 29. And the breeze, it's light. It's out of the north, just 6 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity is sitting at 81%. The sky is clear. We are still waiting for the sun to rise at about 20 past 8. That's when that will happen. And then plenty of sunshine will be enjoyed all along the eastern border. Western Manitoba, totally different story. That's where the clouds will be on the heavier side and even building through the day. And another round of precipitation, especially beginning in the far northwest and along west central Manitoba. Further into the south, you might not see that precipitation today, but overnight, different story. In fact, overnight, our temperatures will continue to rise. We'll get to seasonal values today around minus 14 here in Winnipeg. Warming overnight, still warming for tomorrow, and we're back up to that plus 3 by tomorrow afternoon.
Thanks, Terry. If you're looking for a break from winter, you can warm up and get energized with a live music festival around the city. It's called Winnipeg's Winter Eruption Festival, and it'll bring live performances to the city's West End, West Broadway, and South Osborne areas. Joining us now to tell us more about Winnipeg's Winter Eruption Festival is Jorge Requena Ramos. Good morning, Jorge.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Great.
Tell us about Winter Eruption. This has been around now this is the 5th year.
Yeah.
What is it? What inspired it? And why is it something really fun to do in January?
We wanted to celebrate the people we are as Winnipeggers. We're winter people, and we wanted to create a week in the depths of winter. You know, like the last week of January is sometimes the coldest week of the year. Yeah. And we wanted to really own it and say, no, this is who we are. Let's have fun. The same way that we have fun in the summer. And we got together with many friends of the Western Cultural Center, who was the original partner bringing it to Winnipeg, including Real Love Winnipeg, and then a bunch of venues throughout the city. Okay. It doesn't happen in one place. It happens in all of the core of the city. So we're celebrating all of Winnipeg rather than celebrating one specific venue.
Okay, and so there's many different stops along the way during the festival, but it's where the talent is coming from. You're getting a lot of really cool performers coming for this festival. Tell us about that.
Yeah, of course. We have legendary hardcore punk band Fear coming to Winnipeg. I don't think they've ever come to Winnipeg, even in the heyday of our punk scene. Okay. You know, they were notorious in the late 70s and 80s, and notorious in a good way, in a very punk way.
They were featured on SNL's 50th anniversary show because they were on the show itself back in the 70s and made quite an impression back then.
Made quite an impression. I think they threw a pumpkin at the production manager. You know, that's the kind of antics that they were getting around back then. And we also have His Golden Messenger, who's a seminal folk singer. These are bigger names that we're getting into the festival, right? So it's really excited to be able to showcase these things to Winnipeggers.
Right, and how do you even draw that kind of talent here?
You know, after 5 years of working on this, I think the word is getting out that there is an interesting festival in the prairies, because it happens in Winnipeg, Saskatoon, and Edmonton. Okay. So it's not just Winnipeg. We do it at the same time with our partners in other cities. We're sister festivals that we book the headliners together. We have a lot of fun, you know, collaborating, but it makes the prairie scene stronger, and we're able to compete with markets like Vancouver or Toronto for spots for artists.
That is so cool. Okay, and in the first year, you got about 300 people from across Canada wanting to be part of the festival, right?
300 in the audience, yeah. Okay. We had only 5 artists in the first year.
Yeah. And then what is it looking like this year?
This year is going to be 4,000. Our biggest event by far is the Murray Sinclair Memorial Round Dance. If you've never attended a round dance as a Winnipegger, you can't call yourself a Winnipegger. You have to attend Indigenous events events because Indigenous music is the only original music from Canada. And so the Round Dance is an event that celebrates traditional Indigenous singers and traditional Indigenous music. It's kind of like the powwow of the winter, and for a long time it was illegal to do it in Manitoba. It was something that it was illegal for Indigenous people to do, and Indigenous advocates are bringing it back, and they're using the festival sort of as a platform to do it. It happens at the Convention Center on January 23rd.
Okay, so this is starting on January 20th, which is the Tuesday, runs until Sunday the 25th. What do you want people to know about getting their hands on tickets and why they should check it out?
You should go to winterworkshopwpg.ca to get your tickets right away. You can still get tickets for most shows, even Fear. I think there's still some tickets left that you can go and get. You know, we have wrestling, we have punk, we have folk, you know, we have jazz, we have Indigenous traditional music. It's a very diversified festival that includes everybody. So you're going to find something for yourself in the list.
And of course, you can find the link on our website as well. Thank you for sharing this with us.
Thank you so much.
It sounds like fun.
See you at the festival.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Glenn Sheeler inside the TSN Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Tuesday. And for it, let's go to Washington for the Habs and Caps. Montreal with a 2-on-1. Cole Caulfield is stopped by Logan Thompson, jumps on the rebound, feeds Alexander Texier, but he is absolutely robbed. Look at a sprawling Logan Thompson sliding across, making the incredible save. That is why he was named to Canada's Olympic roster. Thompson with your must-see moment from Tuesday. And tonight on TSN, it's Tangerine Raptors basketball. Raps taking on the Pacers. Tip-off for that, 7 p.m. Eastern. That's all from the newsroom, everyone. Have a great day.
The TSN must-see moment is brought to you by Super Blinds and Draperies, featuring Hunter Douglas products.
It's Wednesday, January 14th. Residents displaced and traffic disrupted. Fire crews are busy at the scene of a major Main Street blaze this morning. Frightening moments, what police say may have caused a school bus to roll over on a Westman highway, sending 15 on board to hospital. And boots on the ground in northern Manitoba. Forces personnel are helping at Pimicikamak Cree Nation with additional support due to arrive soon. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. It's 8 o'clock on your Wednesday. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Now, coming up at 8:45, Fried Chicken Fest is back. It's pretty big. Every year it gets bigger and bigger, and more restaurants participate. And, of course, who doesn't love fried chicken?
Who doesn't love fried chicken?
It's really fun because you can explore more than one restaurant. Of course, this is the time of year when restaurants are really in need of business because people sort of drop off and don't go out that often after Christmas. So we're going to find out more about the festival itself. It starts today, and you can vote on your favorite as well, which is really cool for those restaurants.
Why am I suddenly so hungry?
I know, right?
And craving fried chicken.
Well, you're going to see some fried chicken at about 8:45, but you might need something to warm up your belly today because
it's cold. Yeah, you're right about that, but it's pretty. Look at that. How stunning of a sky we're waking up to. Minus 24 is where we're sitting right now, though it feels like minus 29 with a bit of a breeze. It is just a bit of a breeze this morning, and that's a nice change up from yesterday. A north wind, only 6 kilometers per hour. The pressure rising and the humidity sitting at 81%. 20 minutes away from sunrise, even less than now, and it is looking gorgeous out there this morning, and you can see how clear it's going to be all along the eastern border today. Clear, but a little bit colder than, say, western Manitoba, who will deal with the heavier clouds, but some slightly warmer temperatures, and then maybe a bit of precipitation that will be moving through. And I'll show you what I'm talking about because it could be in mixed form. So enjoyed that sunshine this morning. It'll actually stick around for most of the day here on the eastern side, but we'll see these clouds building up, and with them comes the next round of precipitation. But with those temperatures as mild as they're likely to be, flurries, yes, but maybe even some freezing rain, and that'll take you right down to about west central Manitoba. Then we could be seeing some of that passing through in the overnight hours. Now, interestingly enough, our temperatures are actually going to continue to rise overnight. We'll only get to about seasonal values today, but warming through the overnight hours, getting even warmer throughout tomorrow. We could be cracking the freezing mark again and another round of precipitation, perhaps in that mixed form again, just because of how warm and mild it's going to be, but only for a day. So today,
seasonal and then a swing up tomorrow, dropping back to normal and then plummeting into the deep freeze as we're looking ahead to the coming weekend. And a big old thanks to River, 6 years old. Love what you've done here, hauling the Christmas tree away maybe after the holidays. Keep those pictures coming, please. Draw, color, or paint. Send them to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
The Weather Art of the Day is brought to you by 103.1 Virgin Radio.
Crews battling a major fire at the Manwin Hotel on Main Street this morning are working to prevent the blaze from spreading to adjacent properties.
We're basically defending the building Main Street project to the south and the other building to the north. Main Street, this building is basically lost. It's been vacant for a while.
Crews arrived at around 3:45 this morning to find the vacant building at 655 Main engulfed in flames. As a precaution, the Main Street project premises were evacuated. Those staying there are taking temporary shelter on buses. WFPS Platoon Chief Steve Kumka says the city's emergency social services unit has been called in to assist those displaced by the fire. Winnipeg police say Main Street in both directions is closed between Disraeli and Higgins. Logan Avenue is also closed. Street closures are expected to stay in place well beyond the morning commute. The cause of the fire is still unknown. 14 students and a bus driver were taken to hospital after a school bus rolled over in western Manitoba.
I've been with the family members and it's a state of shock, right? Because you think your child's going to school only to find out, has been involved in an accident.
This happened yesterday morning as the bus was heading to Swan River from Sepultawaya Cree Nation. There were 14 students on board, ages 16 to 18, along with the bus driver. They were all taken to hospital. 4 of them suffered significant injuries. The RCMP say the bus driver was trying to pass another bus, then lost control. Conditions on the road were icy at the time of the crash. Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew says he's open to a conversation about putting seatbelts on school buses. Police continue to investigate the incident. 7 members of the Canadian Armed Forces are on the ground in Pimicikamak surveying the damage following that nearly week-long power outage.
So our top priorities right now, we're looking at the community's sewage plant and the 2 water treatment facilities. Simultaneously, we're also taking a look at some of the power generation systems, so the generators that are located at those various locations.
The team's technical assessment commander says they're in the process of assessing exactly what's going on at these locations. Those assessments will inform what additional resources are needed. The commander says the community has been doing a fantastic job keeping systems running, and later today, even more help is set to arrive in the community. The Winnipeg Jets wrapped up their latest homestand with a game last night against the visiting New York Islanders. The Jets were coming off 2 back-to-back wins. The Jets opened the scoring with just over 15 minutes left in the first, going up 1-0 on this goal by Kyle Connor. We're in the second period now with the Jets up 2-0 when Jonathan Taves bangs this one past the Islanders' netminder, and now it's 3-0. The Jets let the Islanders catch up, but this one puts the Jets up for good. The goal coming from Adam Lowry on a setup from Neil Pionk. The Islanders get another one, but that's where it ended, with the Jets winning their 3rd straight 5-4. Dylan DeMello and Josh Morrissey also scored for the Jets. Winnipeg's next action is a trip to St. Paul to face the Wild. That game goes Thursday at 7 p.m. Way to go, Jets. Here's a look at what's happening now at Kenaston and Sterling Line. Looks like things are moving well here, but we do have another traffic note to share with you. The northbound Corden and Stafford. There is a motor vehicle crash there that is blocking the northbound curb lane past the intersection, so keep left to pass in that part of the city. And of course, there's the closure on Main Street northbound and southbound as well. If you have any other traffic tips, please let us know.
Traffic is brought to you by Curtis Carpets, Manitoba's flooring experts.
Let's go back now to Ainsley, who's live at the Snow Maze and hanging at the Snow Bar this morning. Hello.
Not a bad place to be,
kidding.
eh? How Canadian of me. Well, this is probably the most Canadian place I've ever seen in my life. Clint joining me once again. You guys aren't done yet. This is probably the only piece of equipment I can be trusted with. How close are we to finished product?
We're a little ways away. I mean, we're going to for sure get done for next week, Saturday. And this is our snow bar, but the idea is it's actually a sports bar because we want to celebrate the Olympics. And hey, if you can watch a Jets game in a snow bar, I mean, what's more Canadiana than that?
I'm trying to think of another synonym for cool because that is pretty sweet. A lot goes into that theme, though, because throughout the maze, you have added to it. Just behind us here, and it might be difficult to see because of our lighting, you will be adding lighting, is the flame. So lots of intricate details.
Yeah, so Corby, who's, this is kind of a tribute to Corby. He's the designer and he's the builder of this bar. And he's also won Western Canadian finals for ice carving. And he is going to Cortina to actually compete there in ice carving and have all his ice out front of the Olympics. But yeah, so the flames behind us, they're going to be underlit, so they're actually going to be twinkling. And so you're going to order your drink here, and you are going to be at the Olympics Canadian style.
Neat. Okay, what else is going to be added to the space?
Well, so we have ice tables. So we're going to have stand-up tables. We're going to have seated tables, all high tops, and they're going to be going throughout. And we're going to have TVs like a sports bar. We're going to have some big broadcasting. The screen is right there. It's already white. So all we have to do is add a projector. And so we're just going to be able to enjoy, you know, what's going on for Team Canada. And hey, like to watch a Jets game here, that would be just a lot of fun.
What's your Winnipeg Jets prediction this season? Oh, we're out of time. I'm so sorry. Didn't get to that one.
Oh, that's maybe a good thing. Thank you, Ainsley. Well, curiosity, efficiency, and technology came together to create a love story like no other in East Vancouver. CTV's Adam Sawatsky has more.
If Graham McCarthy was asked to answer a multiple choice question about the best beginning for a love story, he likely wouldn't have picked officiate a fish funeral.
Yeah. Say that 5 times fast. Yeah, officiated a fish funeral. That's what I did.
That's what the pastor was doing when he met a friend of a friend for the first time named Katrina Froese.
So it was fun that he showed up and he had a whole eulogy, and that's the kind of humor that I was like, all right, I can get behind this.
So when he eventually asked her out, Katrina said yes. But then Graham sent her a survey to fill out about her preferences for their first date.
I thought it was a joke. I didn't think he was serious, but then he really wanted me to answer the questions. So I was like, okay, guess this is real.
The mostly multiple choice questions range from what kind of food she wanted to eat to her preference levels of fancy schmanciness, from pajamas to a dress, suit and tie.
Purely efficiency. Had a lot of questions, didn't want to send a lot of text.
Well, Graham also hoped it would be charming. And after they went to a dinner and a movie, and he presented her with a post-date survey, Katrina agreed it was. And then she posted it on social media.
Within like a couple of hours, it like blew up.
While the post earned more than 10 million views, the couple learned they were compatible in countless ways. And after dating for a few years, Graham asked Katrina to stop in the middle of a hike to look at her phone and fill out another form.
That basically gave a survey of how he's been doing in our relationship.
After answering them all positively, Katrina read the final question. Will you marry me? As you can see, she said yes. And then a few months later, they both declared, I do.
It was awesome. It was like super sweet.
Oh, it was incredible. It was the best wedding I've ever been to.
Although Graham hasn't sent any other surveys since, both he and Katrina are committed to keep having fun and always consider each other's preferences moving forward.
Like, don't seek your needs, seek the other person's needs, and if you're both doing that, then everybody's needs will be met.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Vancouver.
There's a look now through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. Beautiful out there, isn't it? Yeah, and it's a little bit chilly, so if you do want to go outside and enjoy all of that beauty, throw those extra layers on because you're going to find yourself needing them today. A bit of a different change up between the temperatures that we had yesterday, but also a change up between what eastern Manitoba will feel or what western Manitoba will feel. You can see there's almost a 10-degree difference in these numbers, almost, but considerably colder where it's clearer this morning, and I'll show you the satellite image and you'll see where those clouds are. But basically, you can look at the numbers and know where those clouds are. If you've got the milder temperatures that you're waking up to this morning, there's probably a little bit of extra cloud coverage, whereas if you're waking up to those colder temperatures, likely a clear start to your day. So not only are we dealing with some cooler temperatures temperatures this morning. Winds, they're adding that additional bite. We've got a wind chill value of -40 up in Churchill right now. Here in Winnipeg, feeling like -29. So again, throw those extra layers on. You'll be glad you did. It's nowhere near as windy as it was yesterday, but those winds will be increasing again, and eventually the clouds will be increasing again. But for today, or at least this morning, only seeing them along that western border. Here's what I'm talking about right now with those clouds moving in. And on the clearer side for now, but things will change as we move through the day. We'll likely enjoy mainly sunny conditions and mercury climbing to a fairly seasonal temperature, -14. That's pretty normal for this time of year. It actually continues to warm up overnight and more so through the day tomorrow. But with those extra clouds that we'll see building up overnight will come another round of precipitation that will eventually lead to some colder temperatures as we're looking ahead to the weekend. And we'll see you right after this break.
Prime Minister Mark Carney is on his way to Beijing for a short but consequential visit as China and Canada try to move past years of diplomatic tensions and Ottawa pushes to double non-U.S. trade by 2035. It is Carney's pragmatic foreign policy in action, says Asia Pacific Foundation Vice President Veena Najibullah. Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew calling on Ontario Premier Doug Ford to drop plans for a boycott of Crown Royal whiskey, writing Ford's name on a barrel outside the plant north of Winnipeg where some of the whiskey is mashed, distilled, and aged. We understand, Doug, that you get fired up and you say things in public, but we also understand that you do the right thing when you have a chance to reconsider. Destination Ontario is encouraging fans of Heated Rivalry to relive their favorite moments from the Crave series by visiting filming locations across the province. The tourism body sharing on social media a list of 6 spots that serve as the backdrop to the lustful hockey show. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
When someone is really sick with a respiratory infection, a respiratory therapist, or RT, will help them breathe and save their lives. Respiratory therapists also help patients leave the hospital and learn how to live at home independently while using oxygen and ventilation systems. RTs are essential in our healthcare system, and Shared Health is on a recruitment drive to train and hire more in Manitoba. Joining us now to tell us more about this is the Manager of Health Services overseeing respiratory therapy at St. Boniface Hospital, Kwabena Ose-Bonsu. Good morning, Kwabena.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, you've been an RT for more than 10 years.
Yes.
You're in more of a managing role. Explain what respiratory therapists do and what the job looks like.
Yeah. So first and foremost, respiratory therapists are healthcare professionals. We work all through the health system, predominantly in the ICUs, in emergency departments, but also you find respiratory therapists in community settings, rural settings as well. The bulk of the job, of course, is around ventilation and life support in the ICUs, but there's also a significant part of the job that is preparing patients to be able to go home, preparing patients to be able to stay at home, and preventing patients from also coming into the hospital by being able to maintain them at home as well.
Right, and you were a respiratory therapist during probably one of the hardest periods of time for RTs, which of course was the pandemic.
Yes.
You learned a lot about the importance of the job, didn't you?
Yes, absolutely. That was a very stressful time for all of RTs, especially dealing with a lot of patients coming into the ICUs and being really sick. But what we also learned was the importance of the team and the core of the team and maintaining that core through difficult times. And I think a lot of people were able to become closer and work together and be able to get through stressful moments and stressful times as a team together. Yeah.
But there is a real shortage of RTs right now in Manitoba, and so there is this recruitment drive. What would you tell people about the perks and the benefits of the job? Because your family has been in healthcare for a long time, and you got convinced to take part in this job and you love it. So what are the perks that you found?
Yeah, I got convinced by my mother to go into respiratory therapy. Definitely has not been a mistake to do that. But overall, I think the perks of the job is if you want to work in a dynamic environment, if you want to work as a team, you want to be part of the solution to healthcare, and because every little bit, every person plays a small role in finding that solution. Those are some of the perks that come as well. If you want to work in, as I mentioned, an awesome team, dynamic problem solving, working with high-tech equipment at the bedside, definitely respiratory therapy is an option.
And you don't have to always work in a hospital setting either. There are other options outside of the hospital.
Absolutely, yes. If you want to work in community settings, so if the fast pace is not for you and you want to be able to work to maintain patients at home, setting patients up on oxygen at home, or maintaining patients who have artificial airways at home, respiratory therapists work in that field as well, or in private enterprise, so sleep clinics and stuff along those lines as well. Respiratory therapists are present in that area. So, a lot of people actually don't realize they meet a respiratory therapist when they come to the hospital. Yeah,
that's really cool. Okay, so if somebody's watching and they think maybe this is where they want to go, what do they do?
So go to, first off, the Healthcare Recruitment and Retention Office website online. There's a wonderful website that's set up. Navigate to the Allied Health section, and you'll be able to find career opportunities on there. If you're also out of province and want to move to this awesome province that we have, healthcare system that we're all working to improve, definitely that's the place to go. Healthcare Recruitment and Retention Office.
And of course, we'll have a link on our website as well. Thanks, Kwabena.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, it's beautiful out here this morning. It's chilly, but I'm bundled up properly, and the sky is looking absolutely stunning as the sun is finally up now. Minus 22 feels like minus 30, but at least those winds on the lighter side, just 10 kilometers per hour out of the west-southwest, the pressure rising, and the humidity sitting at 81%. And we will deal with lighter winds today and colder temperatures, sure. But the sun is shining, and we'll enjoy that pretty much throughout the day today along the eastern border, pardon me. Western Manitoba will be seeing those heavier clouds and continuously building up throughout the day, eventually bringing some precipitation. But Western Manitoba, with the clouds and precipitation that will be looming, you'll also experience and enjoy some slightly milder temperatures today, still below the freezing mark, whereas things will be changing up for us tomorrow. We'll rise here on the eastern side of the province, more specifically Winnipeg, to about minus 14. Now that's normal for this time of year, as are these chilly morning temperatures. Very seasonal and sunny. It's going to be a beautiful day today, but then it continues to warm up overnight and throughout the day tomorrow, and we could find ourselves back up above the freezing mark with some messy conditions. Not only will it start to melt as we push into the plus digits, but some mixed precipitation could be moving in through Thursday and lingering through Friday. That's when the temperatures, though, start to drop. Now, yesterday we got up to 3 degrees. This is not a lake or a river that you're looking at. It's actually a field, but the snow melted and created this water on top. Thanks to Roz for the photo, and keep the pictures coming, please, to Winnipeg weather at ctv.ca.
Weather is brought to you by ABC Fire and Safety, your CO2 refill store.
January is a time when many people are thinking about getting back into healthier routines, especially fitness. With more on how you can start, we're joined by lifestyle expert Taylor Kay. Good morning, Taylor.
Good morning. I know everyone's got stuff on their bucket list, right, Ainsley, on what they want to do, and whether you want to, press restart again. Each week is a new week and each day is a new day. So why not try something, right?
Okay, how? How do we do it?
Well, how do we do it? Well, the most important thing is starting somewhere that obviously feels approachable and you feel comfortable with. I love Planet Fitness. It's a great option because it's affordable, it's welcoming, and designed for people of all fitness levels. Whether you're just starting out or you're an athlete searching for peak performance, they do have lots of options, and that helps take the pressure out of your January fitness goals.
I think it's fair to say, too, that a lot of people feel intimidated when going to the gym. How does Planet Fitness help with that?
Well, you know what? Planet Fitness they're the home of the judgment-free zone. So it's supportive, it's a motivating environment with best-in-class strength and cardio equipment, so people can focus on building confidence and consistency and community instead of feeling overwhelmed. I also love, I'll tell you, Ainsley, I love to get myself a little outfit, a little matchy-matchy outfit to go to the gym, right? That also makes me feel good.
Oh, I love that too. See, I'm the opposite. I'm going to put on an old middle school T-shirt. Nobody look at me, but still judgment free.
Right. I do have a shirt that says Taylor made me do it, and they're like, "Who's Taylor?" I'm like, "Me. I made myself do this."
So if people at home want to get started now, though, because that's what we want to urge, like do it now. What should they know?
Well, Planet Fitness offers flexible membership options starting at just $15 a month, which makes it accessible for a lot of Canadians. They also have this Black Card membership for $29.99 per month, which comes with amazing perks like hydro massage and red light technology at some of the facilities, access to more than 2,800 clubs worldwide, and the ability to bring a guest anytime. You can find a location and sign up. Just visit planetfitness.ca/clubs. All the info's there.
Here in Manitoba, I always joke, I go to the gym in my I Landed the Gimli Glider t-shirt that I got from one of our live on locations. So maybe I'll go to Planet Fitness with that one and do a run.
We'll notice you. Send me a DM. I want to see it.
I love it. Thanks, Taylor.
Thank you.
A common practice in Atlantic Canada is now off the table in parts of Europe, where several countries have cracked down on boiling lobsters alive. As CTV's Josh Smith reports, questions around animal welfare and whether lobsters feel pain have put generations-old cooking method under the microscope.
Boiling live lobsters has been banned in the United Kingdom, Switzerland, Norway, and New Zealand. The Lobster Council of Canada's executive director, Jeff Irvin, is watching the new policy unfold in the UK.
If they're dealing with live lobster, that they are no longer able to boil them live. So they'll have to kill them in a different way. They'll have to stun them, or they'll have to cut them in half with a large knife.
In an industry worth almost $3 billion annually to Atlantic Canada, Irvin says it's still too early to know what the UK's decision will mean for the Maritimes.
It's too early to know what the impact will be, but I don't expect it will have a massive impact. We have 40 other countries we sell to. We produce frozen products that they can buy and not be subject to this issue.
Dalhousie University professor Shelley Adamo says animal welfare is important, but adds that the science is unclear on this topic.
I really don't think lobsters have the capacity for feeling pain, certainly not the way we do.
While Europe's recent moves have forced a closer look on how lobsters are treated, the Lobster Council of Canada says there is nothing new on the table. So that means it's business as usual for lobster lovers. Josh Smith, CTV News, Shediac, New Brunswick.
All right, here's a look at what's happening on the St. James Bridge. Things are moving well over here, and the sky is lit up. We'll be right back after this short break.
Oh my goodness, how gorgeous does that look? A pretty pink start to your morning. Rose-colored glasses, if you will, which you might need today because it's chilly, considerably colder than yesterday. Minus 22 feels like minus 30, but plenty of sunshine to enjoy today, and light winds, at least for the moment, out of the west-southwest. They're just 10 kilometers per hour. The pressure rising, the humidity at 81%. And in fact, the winds are likely to remain on the lighter side, and the sun will keep shining here along the eastern border. It's western Manitoba that'll see those clouds building up, and with the clouds that are moving in comes the precipitation that'll be showing up probably about midday to early afternoon, and it could in fact be a rain-snow mix in that northwestern and west central part of the province, and that's because with those extra clouds you've also got some milder temperatures on the way, whereas here on the eastern side of the province, we have returned to seasonal temperatures, which puts us in the minus 20s this morning and rising only to those low to mid minus teens. But the sunshine will look good and the winds staying on the lighter side out of the south to about 20 kilometers per hour later on this afternoon. Then overnight, we might drop to about minus 15 just as the sun starts to set, but the mercury then continues to rise overnight, and minus 15 will be our low temperature, but we could get to minus 6 by morning time. There will perhaps be some precipitation passing through and some strong south winds increasing. And then tomorrow, those temperatures continue to increase. The winds will be shifting, but very strong. And that precipitation that's going to be starting up could be a bit of a rain-snow mix or freezing rain for tomorrow. It'll continue into Friday when the temperatures start to drop, and will drop even further as we're looking ahead to the chilly weekend.
The man arrested in connection to a hateful graffiti spree in the city has been rearrested. But according to police, this latest alleged incident isn't related to the first incident. Police say shortly before midnight Friday, officers were sent to a home in Crescent Wood for a report of a break-in. The homeowners said they were awakened by their security alarm and found a man standing inside their home. They shouted at him and he left. There were no reports of damage or theft. Officers found the suspect nearby and took him into custody. 34-year-old Oliver Ederhoff is now charged with break and enter with intent and failure to comply. The arrest happened the day after he was arrested in connection to 14 instances of vandalism, including swastikas spray painted on a synagogue and mosque. None of the charges have been tested in court. Winnipeg's drinking water treatment plant is going to need at least another $38 million worth of work to fix problems identified since the plant opened in 2009. According to a city report, 2 issues still remain of the 6 originally found. The first relates to a sodium hypochlorite system used to disinfect water, which failed twice within the first 6 months of use and was then put out of service. The city has been outsourcing the chemical ever since and is still trying to determine whether it makes more sense to continue outsourcing or to produce its own. No cost estimates are available for that project. The other has to do with rehabilitating the concrete used in the processing tanks. The Manitoba government is sharing a new roadmap aimed at reducing poverty in our province.
Pathways Forward is more than just a strategy. It's a commitment to action, to accountability, and to partnership.
The NDP government has rolled out its Pathway Forward strategy. The 5-year plan focuses on helping 3 groups: seniors, children 5 and under, and youth aging out of care. The province wants to make sure these groups have access to health care, education, and safe places to live.
To ensure that Manitobans, have the opportunities that they need to thrive, and also to have a Manitoba that everyone is included and no one is left behind. So we've already been doing that work. We will continue to do this work. We'll be guided by the vision and the targets in our strategy.
Families Minister Nahanni Fontaine says targets and strategy initiatives will be shared in upcoming reports. The province developed the strategy with input from more than 3,000 Manitobans over the past 2 years. CFL winter meetings taking place in Calgary this week. A long list of discussion topics on the agenda, most notably the league rule changes announced last September. CTV's Donovan Mays has more.
After sweeping rule changes were announced by the CFL in September, the league is taking the next step toward their implementation and exactly what they may look like on the field.
Once the 25 season concluded, you have a little bit more time to look at those things and some of the things that are being proposed.
It's a part of the league's winter meetings this week in Calgary as coaches and general managers discuss the new rules with the league for the first time.
We're here to sort of figure all this out and make it work, right? So I'm looking forward to hearing all sorts of different thoughts and perspectives.
I want to know kind of the details of it and more the intricacies of what we're talking about. So, I think that some of them are outside the box, which are interesting.
Other topics and potential changes are also on the agenda.
Straight to the left, backs in, over the plane to the goal line.
Including modifications to short yardage plays, overtime formats, playoff structure, free agency, and a review of the replay center's mandate.
Sometimes there's things that come up that you didn't think that you had too much of an opinion on, and then you realize like, oh man, actually I do. So just excited to hear everybody's brain.
Make sure you don't change too much because you'll never know which rule made the difference, which one did. I mean, play football and then figure it out from there.
In his State of the League address at the Grey Cup in November, CFL Commissioner Stuart Johnston reiterating his office's commitment to a uniquely Canadian game.
The new rules embrace innovation and perpetual improvement while protecting what makes Canadian football special.
Adding rules like 3 downs and 12 players on the field are not going anywhere. Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
Here's a look at what's happening in traffic along Donald Street. It looks like things are moving well over here, but we do have that continuing traffic situation along Main. In the 600 block of Main Street, there's a fire there causing all kinds of traffic disruptions in the area. Main Street is still closed in both directions between Disraeli and Higgins. Logan Avenue is also closed, and street closures, especially for the northbound lanes, are expected to stay in place well past this morning's commute. If you have any other traffic tips, please text them to us. Here's a look at your gas prices. The Canadian average stands at $1.25. The provincial average is at $1.18. In Winnipeg, the average is the same, and the lowest price in the city is $1.10. All this info is on GasBuddy.com. For our question of the day, we wanted to know, what's your favorite outfit for your pet? Brianne said their favorite outfit for her Chihuahua, Phoebe, is her snowsuit. It comes with her boots, her full body parka, her sweater over her top, and her toque. She's a sweetie. Jennifer shared a photo of Scout, and he loves to wear his multicolored hoodie. Sabrina shared her cat Kitty in her favorite ribbon skirt. Lovely. Marlene made a dress for Paige when her first got her. She loved it. And Jennifer shared 2 outfits. The first one is Sadie Rose in her cupcake dress. And the second one is Kobe Wan sporting his Grinch attire. Looks really happy about that. Thank you so much for your responses. So cute. All right, let's go back to Ainsley McPhail now, who is live at the Snow Maze this morning. It looks gorgeous there. Good morning.
Now that we all know, what an awesome morning. Like, seriously, I feel like a kid in a candy store, Clint, because we've been exploring. There's little nooks and crannies, and as we know as well, the crew is in a full force.
Yeah, they're sure active today. I mean, it's the freshest day I think we've had all season, but they're going at it hard. There's about 20 of them out there, and we're just finishing up a wall here. We got Paul on top, and there's tractors going, dumping snow into them, and it's just repeat it. We want to get 3/4 done today, so it's a big push.
Yeah. Speaking of the snow itself, we're actually going to follow the plume. Up here, it might actually be mistaken for a really big cloud, but no, that's in fact snow.
Yeah, sometimes on those really calm nights, I mean, we've seen this plume of snow as far as the perimeter highway. It's pretty shocking, actually.
And so what's the process? I guess it's hard to explain in a couple of minutes, but how does it get from that to what you see in the finished product?
Okay, so the first thing we got to do is take the snow off the snow pile. And here we got the snowcat. He's backing up. You can see over there. So he's nonstop pushing snow to the builders. And if you can see way over there, you've got Joe on top of the wall, and we've got a clamshell bucket. It drops the snow straight into the forms so they don't push over. And so that's kind of the process. And in between, we snow blow it so we can condense that snow so it's like really strong, kind of like concrete.
And then into the hands of the artist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, once the walls are built, that's kind of the construction side. And then we've got the artist side, and that's actually what we see in here. We've got some tractors. So, hey, why not a tribute to farmers?
No doubt. And making it a real experience because you're going to have that Olympic bar in each themed room.
Yeah, and so we've got the Olympics is a big one. That's our heavy-weighted one with our sports bar. But all these other ones are, these are the maze. These are the buildings you have to find. We got the easy way because we went around the outside. But if you're a patron, you want to find your way through the maze, and you want to find the tractor room, the pizza room, the castle.
Thank you. Okay, January 24th is when it all kicks off.
All right, thank you, Ainsley. Yeah, you can tell people are cold when their mouths start to freeze. How's it feeling right now?
Yeah, it's cold. I was a little late to put the gloves on this morning, but you're going to need all of those layers on and all the things to protect the extremities. A toque for my walk home, some sunglasses too, some nice warm layers. Because today we're seeing a return to the seasonal temperatures, which, I mean, fine, this is what January feels like, but coming off of yesterday is a bit of an adjustment because yesterday we started the morning at +3 degrees, and we could be back there again throughout the day tomorrow, believe it or not. -22, though, is where we're sitting currently, and it feels like -30 if you're factoring in that wind. It's only 10 kilometers per hour out of the west-southwest. Pressure rising and the humidity sitting at 81%. Now, the nicest thing about today is the lack of winds and the sun shining over us. We'll enjoy that throughout the day today for anybody along the eastern border. Western Manitoba, not the case for you. You're going to see the clouds building up and likely bringing some precipitation that could be in mixed form because western Manitoba with those extra clouds will experience warmer temperatures than we'll see on the eastern side today. But in fact, we warm up in the overnight hours, and tomorrow we could be back up to that 3 degrees, plus digits expected. A warm one for a day, and then after that, those temperatures will be on the slide again. Taking a break right now. We'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by Canadian Footwear, helping you find the perfect fit.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
Well, we have another traffic note to tell you about. There's been an accident on St. Mary's Road with Marion Street. There are flashing lights and an ambulance on site. It's hard to tell, but that's where it is. You might want to avoid this area entirely. February is the shortest month of the year, but it can feel like it's the longest. It's cold, dark, and for many, tough on mental health. However, as CTV's Hafsa Arif tells us, an upcoming fundraiser hopes to encourage people to get a move on.
While many of us feel like hibernating in February, the Mental Health Foundation of Nova Scotia encourages you to push through that urge.
We're excited to be launching Body Movement in February. This is the second year for Body Movement. So this is an opportunity for folks to improve their mental health, improve their mental wellness by moving their body in any way that they can.
From lunchtime walks to lifting grocery bags to dancing between the stove and sink, the idea is simple. Move your body, improve your mind, and raise money for mental health.
It gives you just enough time to recover from the holidays through the month of January. And then in February, you can really make it a point to work on your mental health and do those little things that are going to hopefully make a big impact.
The foundation's new ambassador knows firsthand how powerful movement can be. For Olympian Karen Furneaux, walking helped pull her through a tough time in her life.
2 years ago, I was diagnosed with late onset bipolar disorder. I went into a depression, and the only thing I could do day to day was walk. Walking for me, it got me outside, it got me out of my thoughts.
Last year's inaugural challenge raised $80,000. This February, the goal jumps to $100,000, and so does the energy.
Because you get to choose how you move every day during the month of February, I think it made it really easy for folks to decide what that was going to look like for them.
I'm kind of on a comeback now, so I really want to spread awareness around movement, and most importantly, the link between movement and mental health.
Whether it's steps or stretches, organizers say momentum is what matters. Hafsa Arif, CTV News, Halifax.
You might want to put your eating right New Year's resolutions on hold for 10 days this month as Winnipeg's popular Fried Chicken Fest is back again. The event not only celebrates the crunchy, tasty treat, but it also celebrates Winnipeg's restaurant scene and talented chefs. Joining us now to tell us more about the 2026 Fried Chicken Fest are Fairmont Winnipeg sous chef Nico Garcia and Chef Joel Rumarate. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, this is really cool because this has been going on for 8 years, this fest. And January is typically a time of year when people stop going to restaurants. This is a good way to get them in the restaurants, right?
Sure.
Tell us about how that affects business.
So basically, like with all these events like that, so this is a marketing wherein people can see different dishes from different restaurants. But for sure, like after the holidays, so people are for sure they're gonna crave for more new dishes that's coming up. Yeah.
And what is it about fried chicken that we love so much? What is so good about it?
So for us, we are serving this time chicken and asal with a twist.
Okay.
So we're in this dish. This is a traditional Filipino food from a province of Bacolod.
Okay.
So traditionally we grill the chicken. So we marinate this one with some vinegar, some ginger, lemongrass, some garlic, and also we also use natto seed for that one. So to have the color, the vibrant color. To make it a twist, what we did is we make an annatto and smoked paprika butter.
Yeah.
So then we crispy fry this one. So that will,
It just sounds so amazing. And 35 different restaurants are participating. This kicks off today. It's very exciting for the restaurant scene. Why is this a great option for people to try and check it out?
So for us, we would like to showcase our Filipino cuisine as well.
Okay.
So like I know here in Winnipeg, there's a lot of Filipino people, so we want to showcase what we can do.
And
not only here in Winnipeg, also in the whole country for sure.
Okay, so this is the final product, but you're going to prep it for us this morning. What does this look like?
Yeah, so what we're going to start off with is our nice baked sushi rice.
Okay.
It comes on top with a little bit of cream cheese with garlic and as well some furikake, which is basically some Japanese seasoning with some dried fish flakes, some nori, and some also sesame seeds as well.
Okay.
After that, we're going to follow up with our Kewpie mayonnaise. Just drizzle that on top.
Is this a spicy mayonnaise?
No, just a regular one.
Okay.
Then comes the spicy.
Oh, there we go.
Yes.
That's what I'm smelling,
Yes.
I think.
Just a little bit of sriracha, a little bit of cayenne powder, a little bit of a Kewpie mayo as well.
Okay.
Then right on top, we put our first piece of chicken. Then we just put a little bit of our soy glaze on there, a little bit of honey, a little bit of soy sauce.
Wow.
Nice little contrast for that sourness, some sweetness, some saltiness as well. Then we put our other piece of chicken on top. A little bit more glaze on there.
That looks amazing.
Right? And then just a little bit more glaze all around, just in case someone needs a little bit more sauce.
Of course you do.
Oh, yeah. Then we go in with the rachata. This is basically a Filipino relish with some green papaya, daikon radish, some carrots, and then also we top that up with some pickled raisins as well.
That is beautiful.
And then we just ended up with some nice crispy radishes and some nice scallions, good to go.
This is incredible. Now, this, of course, Chicken Fest, or Fried Chicken Fest, begins today and it runs until the 24th. If somebody's watching right now, you're telling them to check out more than one place, right?
Yes.
Yes. So, but yeah, here we're serving here at the Fairmont, Winnipeg. So in the Velvet Club and the lounge. So we are open from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. So please come and enjoy our dish.
It sounds like such a good plan. Thank you so much for sharing this. Again, if you want more information, we have a link on our website. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I am salivating after seeing that. All right, minus 22 feels like minus 30, so it's a good thing I'm indoors or that drool would be frozen to my chin. Conditions, they're sunny, and it's looking good out there today. With light winds out of the west-southwest, pressure is rising, and the humidity is sitting at 81%. That sun will be enjoyed all along the eastern half of the province, but for western Manitoba, you're going to be looking at some clouds building up through the day, perhaps bringing some precipitation. Now, that could all roll in for us overnight, but the temperatures will actually continue to rise in the overnight hours. So today we'll only get to about minus 14, but by the way, that's normal for this time of year. So nothing to complain about there, especially because we've got some light winds and sunshine, and neither of those things will be around for tomorrow. The winds will be strong, temperatures on the rise, but some mixed precipitation could be rolling through. Up to 3 degrees, almost too warm, if you ask me. But it's not about my opinion, it's about facts, so let's continue on. Minus 11, dropping further yet. Sunshine ahead for the weekend, but you can see we're in for some frigid temperatures by then, too. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Rooftop arrangements provided by Lacoste Garden Center. Salon services provided by Essentique Spa Salon.
Before we say goodbye, we're going to send you off with some fun video. We kick things off with proof that social media is not reality. Well, just as the caption says, this video of her spilling hot chocolate everywhere while pouring it into the teapot was on her friend's Instagram story. But what she posted was a perfectly set table with little gingerbread men, marshmallows for her drink, and candles. A reminder to not believe everything you see on social media. Absolutely. And now to a door cam that captured a funny and slippery moment.
Are you serious? Oh, just take 2 trips.
Knock it off stage. I got this.
I think there's a couple of broken eggs in this scene. Can't say what was worse for the man. He was just trying to carry all the bags at once. His partner came to help and fell on him. At least they laugh a lot afterwards. Yeah. It's
Thank goodness for doorbell cameras.
Yeah. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day.